Are we serious, bro? Can't be more serious. That one girl in history class has to make every page look pretty. Slavery. Students be like, just to be sure, what's 5 plus 3? 9. POV. How the teacher expects us to walk while the school is burning. 5th grade me, looking down on my classmates after I climbed up the monkey bars first. Principal tried to give us work, so he taped his lame hair to the wall. I can't take this no more. This class has been hacked. Skibbity 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 skib. How broke is my school, man? Pretty broke. Or pretty smart. How teachers feel blocking websites instead of doing their jobs. Bro, can you just eat your lunch? No, I'd rather be an engineer at the lunch table. Gang, who rides to school like this? When there's dead silence in class, but my mind is just generating a 4K image of my teacher, completely bold. Dang, they caught bro lacking. Jawn straight open. Best snap of his life. Bro, it's not even 3 seconds into class. Just go to class, bro. Guys will do anything but use the bathroom. What do you even do in this situation? Try not to get hit. Bro, your stuff is not that important. It must be. Why has he got that many locks on his locker then? Things I do when I need to study. Study. Tell everyone that I have to study. School. 125 plus happiness. That's a lie. How I draw in my friend's notebook. How he strikes me back. This means war. When a random in class busts a top 5 joke of all time, but they're a background character. Me comforting the girl who got a 97% on the test. I got a 3%. How life feels when the passive-aggressive English teacher isn't at school. Tell me why I just realized this was filmed at my school. I hope we never cross paths. Your posts are obnoxious. Just put your phone in, bro. Do not come to school Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Organ donate. Warner Bros. School. Among Us. Punishing the innocent. School is not a place to sleep. Then home is not a place to study. Thank you. I'll never use Pythagoras' theorem in my life. Also students walking home. Bro, how is bro on varsity? He's 10 inches tall. When you walk into class and see the chairs looking like this. When the test is so hard, you make sure to write messy, hoping the teacher sees the right answer. I feel like a middle school event OC, where they have like every mental illness and 200 health conditions. You see another school when you see another school on a school trip. Bro, what is my science teacher on? How do you feel about the fact that you are drinking dinosaur pee? Tastes good. I'm a freak. Traffic jam before school versus traffic jam after school. When people keep asking you why you're mad about something and you don't have a good reason. In conclusion, I'm bitter. Me coming to class unprepared on the first day of school. People want to be selfish with their pens, so you've got to use ketchup. Before social media, what did people do to get attention? Sharpened up pencils in the middle of class. Presenting school projects be like, I'm so tired, give me an A. How it feels when the teacher is behind you when you said the most atrocious thing known to man. How I look at my teacher when they ask, how's the work going? And I say, good, as we both stare at a blank page. What old person thing do you do? Ask, why them kids ain't in school? Whenever I see children in the daytime. This is going to be a long year. Welcome. I hate myself. Evil laughter. Your teacher has Snapchat. That is quite concerning. Bro, these freshmen keep getting smaller each year. Pocket size. This was me. How hard band kids be trying at their school football team game, knowing damn well they're losing 67-0. Our team lost like 48-0 on homecoming night. Nah, bro, our team won 0-48 on homecoming night. Teacher gave us assigned seats. Man climbs up railing to avoid using woke stairs. Dude was like, oh no, rainbow stairs, I don't want to look gay. And his solution was to slide up the railing freaky style. This is more gay than just going up it with your feet, bro. You're grinding on a pole. When is it okay to interrupt my teaching? You're on fire. Tornado. Room is flooding. Alien invasion. Ryan Gosling enters the room when nobody has enough confidence to answer the question. So we just stare at the teacher. And then the teacher picks the random person who definitely won't know it and embarrasses them. Teachers will have talks with you like this and still make your grade 27.6%. I swear the teacher always targets me. POV. When your friend made the funniest joke in all of your 10 years of friendship, but the teacher's watching. Cancel the funeral because I decided to live. Dying is not an option. When I open the exam, and it's the topics I actually revised. Man, no way he's struggling on this. He's been on this screen for 5 minutes. It's either a zebra or a giraffe. I think it's zebra. It's got the stripes. POV. What I do instead of listening to the teacher when your teacher gives back the test you took while severely sleep deprived, and you're just in genuine disbelief at the BS you wrote when fine shite's favorite subject is history. My history teacher casually explained that he met Rosa Parks when he was a waiter. Oh, bro is literally actually a part of history. We're all a part of history. Alright. POV. That one teacher, when you pack up 0.0000017 nanoseconds before the bell rings, you should pack up your stuff now. Kindergarten, primary school, secondary school, university and college. How guys who get D's in every subject look at you when you don't let them press Control Alt, which turns your Chromebook into dark nebula. Good morning, students. Those who are coming to offline class today, please bring 2 coins and die if possible. A die. My English teacher accused me of plagiarizing an essay I wrote about my own life. My friend got accused of plagiarizing in junior high because she used the word sweets instead of candy, and our teacher thought that the word sweet was too advanced for our vocabulary. I know a girl who got in trouble for plagiarizing the sentence, Abraham Lincoln was the 16th president. When you finally open the assignment that's due in 2 hours and see why you had 3 weeks to do it. My face in class when I see my lost pen living its best life in someone else's hand like it got adopted. You never catch someone who is borrowing a pen or has stolen a pen biting it. If they do, that's a different type of gross. School kills artists. Please see me after school. The F students are inventors. I don't think it's F students, I think it's D students. I genuinely feel like a creep for finding a freshman attractive. Wait, how old is this person? As a teacher, trust me, you'll get used to it. Don't be ashamed. Yo, me. Okay, time to go and look at my college stuff that I have to do because it's college. College. Words. Me. I can't read. God nerfed me by making me allergic to garlic and sunlight. So, a vampire? I can confirm that I'm not a vampire as I have blood. Is it your blood? It is blood. Yes, blood. Students on the bus when another bus from a separate school passes. The bus driver. Legit call from the school. Principal. I just wanted to touch base with you. Your daughter was baiting seagulls into the playground with gummy worms and actually caught one. Like, in her arms. It did bite her. Not hard, but I needed to inform you that we filed an incident report. Hey bro, I'm writing a research paper on big stupid idiots, and I was wondering if I could interview you for it. I just need to make some gains, and then everyone who made fun of me in high school will think I'm cool and I'll finally get laid. A haiku about buying college textbooks. What the hell textbooks? You're made of paper and ink, not diamonds. And the school, and if you buy them through the school, they make money off you. That moment when someone asks, what time is it? And all you can think is, basketball? School logo starter pack. Never understood what children in maths exhibition did. I found Happyville and Bummertown. Bro, college so, when are the scare games? I'm so done with Delta math, bro. Good boy. What? Lucky. Me, comforting the girl who got a 97% on the test. I got a 3%. What's the worst score I got? Oh yeah, I got a 0% because the teacher thought I was cheating, but I wasn't cheating. I was just watching YouTube in an exam. Obviously, I denied doing that. She didn't have any evidence, but still got a 0. High school in movies versus high school in real life. What the hell is wrong with my 7-11? 6, 7? Yes, I admit that boys in our classroom are very loud, annoying, and irritating. But somehow, we can't deny how they are always the reason why we smile and laugh. They make our classroom loud, yet enjoyable. Chemistry and nothing like Royal High chemistry. He's doing that talking Ben chemistry. I visited my high school I dropped out of 76 years ago. Pay tribute to the popular girls that bullied me to think I would never be popular. Now I have 6 million followers and they're rotting underground. When you're trying to do the assignment last minute and start realizing why you had 2 weeks to complete it. When the exam is tomorrow and people are blowing up the group chat with past paper questions and you don't know how to answer a single one. POV. Doing your homework at 1 AM because you thought it would only take 15 minutes. Cheating on an exam by memorizing everything the professor taught in advance so I can easily answer all the questions. When you get to school and the fit you put on in a rush is genuinely so bad, you start wishing you got abducted on the way there. Attention everyone. Gabe Turner is going to slowly stop doing streaks. What is our game plan? Better late than never. Assignment was submitted 1 year and 153 days late. Quick reminder that I'm in med school and law school, also astronaut school and basketball school, so don't talk to me about stress. No one. Barbie. Thomas Jefferson Elementary Middle School. Tough. Ahoy, boat captains with short tow ropes, please pull closer to the dock. I need a new school. How guys used to stare at you in 2nd grade when your name was in a word problem. Me in elementary school when the other students were misbehaving, and I wanted to show the teacher that I wasn't a part of their shenanigans. Me, after I asked the teacher for help, but she says, read the question carefully. How my teacher thinks we will dress if we didn't have a dress code. Me, listening to my teacher yap about her life so that we can waste class time when someone screams, which idiot picked red in Kahoot, but that idiot was Unfortunately me. How can we keep our school clean? By staying at home? Teacher. Student. The pose teachers hit when you start packing up 1 minute before the class ends. When you pull up to high school for the first time and realize that people genuinely weren't joking about seniors dating freshmen. Every African parent swears they were top of their class. My dad said the teacher used to ask him for help. And here's a chart that shows what you might see if you looked at a mountain range through a tennis racket. Harvard, here I come. I don't think Harvard's allowing that, man. Sorry to burst your bubble. How that accidental nap be after school, waking up at 3:20 a.m. Random YouTube video playing, sweaty as hell, looking like this. I could never take an accidental nap. Organic chemistry would have been so much easier if carbon wasn't such a sleeper. When you know your teacher is preying on your downfall, but you can't prove it yet. When you open Instagram before going to school and browse online, so you know he is not skipping today. People who poop in school. People who shower in school. This was my Royale High School journal in 2019. Dear diary, it's my free day to play with my friends. Dear diary, turned lesbian somehow? Take your tractor to school is Friday, May 4th, 2018. My professors, at the beginning of the semester, you have 3 essays due on November 30th, so plan accordingly. Me, on November 29th, hold my beer. Every time someone tags this post, #same. A professor somewhere in the world is hit with a sudden, indescribable feeling of disappointment. I hate when teachers are like, if I make an exception for you, I would have to make an exception for everyone. Do you know what an exception means? High school. Assigned seating is so stupid. College. Why is he sitting in my seat? That's my seat. I sit there every day. Gave my students a pop quiz today and learned something new. If you make all the answers to the questions C, you will see 35 of the most hilariously panicked and confused faces in the world. Are you Satan? What I do while writing a research paper. Actual writing. Researching. Anything else I can think of. When I'm in class and I forgot my pen, so I ask fine shite for a pen and the teacher starts talking about, can the lovebirds in the back stop talking? And she starts moving like this. Medical students sometimes practice precision stitching on grapes because their skin closely resembles human tissue. When guys in your class are low-key funny, but you can't laugh because you're unknown. Today, a student emailed over a draft of his essay on 1984 and had clearly used a thesaurus on every single word. And how I know this is because the party slogan, Big Brother is watching you, had become enormous sibling is viewing you, and I laughed so hard I cried. You, Big Brother. Me, an intellectual. Enormous sibling. Student, breaks bone. I think I need to go to the hospital. School nurse. Injured? Go screw yourself, you injured piece of poop. Some guy tweaking in class asking Bakugo and C.AI for answers on his Spanish homework. Yeah, I found out a few days ago that a lot of people use C.AI. Like, a concerning amount of people. It's crazy. Today my son got dressed in nice clothes and said it was picture day at school. His school, of course, is our kitchen table. It was either a very sweet moment or the first sign that the kid is starting to crack. Either way, I charged him $45 for a 15 picture package. Guys, I think I'm onto something. Yes, ladder climbing. This is way easier than rock climbing. I don't know why they make it so hard. I hate this school. Who the hell makes an STD word search? My school only ever did one doing the deed class. Well, yeah, our year was very immature. Mealy. Private school kids with too much money and no sense of consequences. Advantages. High health bar. Versus public school kids with both pent-up rage from the factory line school system and the reflexes of competitive Jeopardy games. Advantages. High school survival instincts. Who wins? Public school kids do more damage and have higher damage resistance. It's no contest. When you can't study because you need to sleep, but you can't study because... you can't sleep because you need to study. I was just an idiot with school. I didn't study. I didn't really revise. If I applied myself at school, I'm sure I could have done better. But I passed I didn't get bad results. I just could have done better. How that one teacher you got no classes with be staring at you for no reason. Yeah, this was one of the maths teachers for me. Every Thursday, we would need to wear like a suit, like it was formal day, I guess, to get you ready for a job. And if you didn't have your shirt tucked in or your tie done correctly or your button done up at the top, he would go up to you. He was very American. And he would say like, this is what he'd say to me. Yo, Johnny, man, how's it going, man? What's going on with the tie? What's going on with the shirt? You gotta tuck in your shirt, man. You gotta look sharp. You gotta look sharp. He always said that. Gotta look sharp. That was his thing. He said that for like 4 years straight. Me, watching my engineering major friend break down in tears of joy and begin throwing celebratory confetti in the air while singing after getting 7 out of 149 on their exam. This was the highest recorded grade, not only in the class, but the entire history of the program. When high school teachers tell you, in college they don't let you have a note card. You have to memorize everything. Or teachers throw away your homework if you don't put your name on it, and they don't accept late work. It's all BS. BS. High school does an efficient job of making you absolutely terrified of college, while not preparing you whatsoever for college. You know who your biggest enemy is for like college and university? It's not the teachers, it's yourself and actually doing the work. Because the teachers don't care if you get it done or not. If you don't get it done, they just won't help you. They won't mark it. That's it. You won't pass. I'm acting like I know because I've been. I have not. I've not been to uni or well, technically college. I was in sixth form. Do you ever start BSing a paper and then look over it halfway through and think, wait a minute, I could be onto something here. This is the definition of college. I was writing a paper on Asian saltwater crocodiles, like a simple about them paper for college class, and I started noticing some inconsistencies in the science papers I was sourcing, and I accidentally discovered that the crocodile has been misdiagnosed as least concerned on the endangered species list when they should be classified as endangered, and now my professor is having me write a formal report to the International Red List to have them reclassified, and all I wanted to do was write this paper on an animal I thought was cool, and now I'm considered an expert on this species. Nah, because you guys ever got kicked out of class for laughing too hard? I wasn't the best kid at school. I was a bit of an idiot. I've always been an idiot. Does anyone have any classes with me? Life pro tip. One time someone said my own joke louder than me and everyone laughed, but as an actor of revenge, I started saying the joke was kind of problematic and everyone started agreeing and turned on the joke thief. When I turn 100 years old, I will be tired of everything and everyone. Maybe I'm 100. The perfect high school chemistry teacher doesn't exist. The Bible verse that got me through high school. Lunch, 11:35. We always had lunch at 1. Food that's good, food that's healthy. American school lunches. You will graduate, you will get that degree, you will get the hell out of that school. Thanks, human. My future looks bright. After high school, I will die. Thinking about that time I drew Dr. Phil for my art final in high school and got a C. Art project for school. Ignore this. 143,000 people. No, I don't think I will. From 6th to 12th grade, I wore the same shirt in every photo. My parents weren't fans. I thought it was pretty hilarious. School bans parents from literally throwing children over 6-foot fence when they're running late. See you after school. Thanks, Mom. What do you guys miss about being in elementary school? When you'd have a doctor's appointment and would come back to school flexing some McDonald's. My prom was last week. We all dressed up fancy. This one kid from my school, however. Thinking about girls who were absolute demons in high school, getting a degree in nursing makes me so nervous. Can I please get a new nurse? Me training my nephew for his first day of school. How to flip someone off with 3 middle fingers. Tall kid going to the school urinals be like, press circle to crouch. When the teacher cracks a joke, but the grades are already looking good. I'm not laughing at all, unless I like you. What was/is your favorite PS3 game? I used to draw this guy's foot in elementary school. Today was ranch day at their high school. In your bed, it's 6 a.m. and you close your eyes for 5 minutes. It's 7:45. At school, it's 1:30. You close your eyes for 5 minutes. It's 1:31. School haircuts. Imagine asking to use the bathroom and then coming back with a haircut. Our high school covers the expiration date with Sharpie. Your high school sells Doritos? Age 16. I have been diagnosed with depression. Age 17. I graduated from high school. I'm cured of depression. Coincidence? I think not. We made the slowest brand new PC. School computers? Oh, I don't think so. School supplies? It's Shopschulskolops. I told my gym teacher that Gyat means go you athletic teens, and he yelled it at 2 girls while doing squats. If I were a 400-year-old immortal vampire, I would simply not enroll in a local high school. Yeah, I don't think I'd be going out of my way to go to high school, let alone speak to children. Society. Guys brave enough to take a poop in school bathrooms. Maybe 2 times in my entire life when I really couldn't hold it. School is not bad, because learning is good. The way they teach you is horrible. A school lunch not even good, but the plate. When you accidentally make eye contact with the teacher. I'm the next victim. Principal. Hello, your son ranked first in school. Sorry, wrong number. The first drone I saw flying in primary school. Boy, 13, is sent home from school for selling hand sanitizer for 50p a squirt. Among us in school shaking hands. Faking your tasks while trying to not look sus. Homie got caught on the hub. Meanwhile, my school blocked cool math games. I'm that kid you're friends with for the first few days of school before you meet an actual decent dad. Why are you putting yourself down like that? Me learning in school how using too much water is bad for the environment. Me taking 40-minute showers, but we can't wear hats. What the hell is going on at your school? Today at lunch in my high school, a junior proposed to his girlfriend of 4 weeks. Damn, talking about moving fast, bro. Top 10 weirdest kids at my school. 1.1 million people. Interesting. This is the best private do school kids take to get to school? I can't do online school anymore. In what month did Lisa hit the maximum taxable social security income? June. Correct answer, June with a capital J. Why did my daughter draw this at school? Go Biden is gay. Imagine skipping school for one day, and when you come back you realize you missed Big Chungus Day. Ouch. Nobody. School bathrooms. Hungarian news channel was talking about schools reopening, and this kid flipped off the camera. They literally banned camo pants from my old school because people kept making invisible jokes, and one teacher had a mental breakdown and decided to quit because of them. The student wears his It's Tuesday shirt to school every Wednesday in order to thoroughly confuse the rest of the school. This dude, low-key, the god of mischief. Take what you need station for my high school students. I like these new teachers, they're more considerate. Go ahead, go to school. Who's going to the baby Sasyamogas school? My school took away the soap dispenser because of internet vandalism challenges. High school lunch photo shared by New York dad has parents concerned. Kids in public school, you gonna eat your cornbread? I hate high school. All the older kids at my school make me do the Fortnite dance and they shout, go white boy go. Well, did you go white boy? No one, Barbie. Quick reminder that I'm in med school and law school, also astronaut school and basketball school. Don't talk to me about stress. A patient cured is a customer lost. First day at med school. Me teaching myself from a $100 textbook after paying a school $10K to teach it to me. Why would they draw this in a bathroom? I'ma take that. High school really had me sweating balls in gym and sent me straight to math or history. What the hell? How do I do taxes? Here's a recorder. What's a credit score? Just put it in your mouth and blow like this. How do I choose the right healthcare plan? Hot cross buns. High school student discovers new planet with 2 suns 3 days into NASA internship. At some point, we all skipped school to do the deed. Me, who has never done the deed but has definitely skipped school before. Middle school versus high school. School really got us eating this at 10:30 a.m. School was mad weird for making us drink milk with a hamburger. This school has no chill. Non-graduating seniors. I need a teacher like this. Yes, he did. If for any reason my answers aren't sufficient, I hope Perry the Platypus will convince you otherwise. Online school, I can just cheat on everything. Sorry, that's not correct. Correct answer, 15.826. Your answer, 15.83. My entire experience in high school. This can't be the same brain I was using to read 750-page novels in 3 days during middle school. Holy, I submitted the wrong file to my schoolwork. I submitted the picture of the cat. Many high school cafeterias in Europe serve alcohol to students who choose to drink. I remember in middle school my phone was dry. No girls would text me. They still don't text me and my phone is still dry. I just remember it happening in middle school too. I'm so glad our parents didn't have Ring cameras when we were in high school. Gotcha can't be this intriguing, bro. How's school been going? A senator that's half horse, half senator. I'm not sending you anymore. X and Y after betraying the alphabet to join numbers. 0 and O are just twins that are on the different sides of the war. Bro, just spoiled maths for me. The twist with N was crazy. Me, making sure my parking is 101% because someone at my school just started a can't park page. Military recruiters, when they see a high school student with a 1.4 GPA. Law student etches thousands of words onto pens in order to cheat on exam. The student who spent years on this cheat now. School superintendent charged with fraud for using own insurance to help ill student. Free her. School gives me depressions, anxiety, panic, a lot of stuff. Adults, did you mean video games? I receive 12 years of your life. You receive mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. What a great deal. This was a form of currency in middle school. Just bring them in and you'll make friends. If anyone wants to know how online school is going, here it is. Pick a number between 1 and 10. 4. Correct answer, purple. Nobody. School Wi-Fi routers. Where do TV shows get this idea that high school is a constant drama? Nothing even happened to me in high school. I'm now remembering that my school got a Slurpee machine and then had to get rid of it 2 weeks later, after someone poured toxic chemicals into it that they stole from the science lab in an attempt to poison the entire cheerleading squad. So like, maybe I was just boring. Where do TV shows get this idea that high school is an emotional drama? It's all chemical warfare and espionage. This sticker on the back of this school bus I saw today. Honk if a kid falls out. If school isn't a place to sleep, then home isn't a place to study. Teachers, listen here. High school seniors complaining about no graduation when millions of elementary school kids don't get to have a field day. Never forget your roots. Elementary school, pee-pee. Lol. Middle school. Screw you, we aren't little kids anymore. Start acting your age. We're 13, now we aren't immature like that. High school. Lol. Drama kid this and band kid that. Where's the love for us kids that did absolutely nothing in high school? Show them how quickly someone in the going home club can leave school. Working from home when your children's school gets cancelled. Bro, kids of all species are annoying as hell. How 8-year-old me felt trying to write with that pen that had a massive unicorn on the end. School is not a place for smart people. No, you're just stupid. School is not a place for smart people. Teacher leaves during test. Elementary school, silence. Middle school, whispers. High school, what the hell is the answer to number 3? I'm gonna sneeze. Whoa. Oh, whoa. I was watching High School Musical yesterday and watched Troy Bolton eat a delicious lunch of just white bread. Cannibalism. Why didn't I think of this in high school? Because it would be so suspicious when it's just exam time and you have a plaster on. When I was in school, the first to finish the test. He knows everything. At college, the first to finish the test. He knows nothing. How the school expects me to act while getting assaulted. My mother gonna beat my little brother's butt. She paid $50 for his school pictures and this is what he does. Was it my kid's school for a costume parade? One dad misunderstood in the best way possible, asking about his home life. The school bully. Here, am I on mute? This is my primary school. My dog is here. Am I on mute? This is my dad's shoe. And here's my room. Bananas. Okay, everyone settle down. My chair fell over. Secondary school. Can anyone say good morning? Anyone? My school is better than yours. You have complimentary mouthwash. Friendly foul-mouthed crew befriends entire Oregon elementary school before state police are called in when you miss school and the school day be like this. I bet this is how the deans felt after taking away my snacks in high school. You've gained weight since high school. Oh, you mean when I was 16? Played 3 sports? Had so much free time to be active? Oh, right. Yeah, you're right, I did. Nice catch. When you purposely failed in a subject so that your hot teacher will call you in her cabin for extra class. My goals are beyond your understanding. Smoke breaks are just an evolved practice of 5 kids sharpening their pencils around the bin in primary school. Friend from high school who wants to reconnect, but it's a pyramid scheme. Freshman on the first day of school. 50 megaton nuke. A wooden desk. School kids in the 60s. When you're looking all fly for school and she's absent. You mean she's not here? Me at the beginning of every school year. I defeated you before and I can defeat you again. Me at the end of every school year. The missions, the nightmares, they're finally over. Did you guys use the pencil flesh or were you normal? I used this. And I also sat on one of these like jelly things because I had really bad ADHD. How my friend sent her daughter to school today versus how she picked her up from school. People. How's engineering school going? Me. John Wick is the dark timeline where Ted went into military school. Adult me visiting my school. The PP art that I made in a desk years ago. You forgot to pick me up from school. Who is this? When your school has its priorities straight. No school, dear season break. Does high school teach students enough about taking care of their mental health? No. Dad, wake up. Go away. Dad, what? I went to school with a girl named Nonstick Cooking Spray. What? We tried calling her Pam. Stop it. But it didn't stick. Fern Creek High School is teaching adulting classes. These students are learning how to change a tire and general car maintenance. Stuff like this needs to be taught in every high school in America. Meeting kids from a different class. Meeting kids from a different school. I was on site. My new eraser. My eraser after one day of school. My younger sister who we left in a boarding school in Lagos. Explain yourself. I snuck out of school. Don't tell them. To the US? Ain't this the truth? People. I'm being bullied. School does nothing. People. I'm having trouble learning. Does nothing. My uniform is ever so slightly wrong. 60 detentions, 19 full days. We spent $75,000 to modernize our classroom with smart boards and HD TVs. The school bathrooms. They've been neglecting the school bathrooms. Online school is not real. Just turn off your Wi-Fi. School cools off for snow day. The next day when school doesn't cool off. How English teachers look at you when you say you don't want to analyze the same stupid poem for the quadrillionth time. Want a hug today after school? My heart is beating so fast right now. I can't believe I asked that. Best back to school picture I've ever taken. Should there be a maximum price limit for a full school uniform? If school uniform is mandatory, then school uniform should be free. High school teachers. College isn't a joke. College professors. What would Professor Carlson's rap name be? 21 Allen. School bathrooms during the new TikTok challenge. Please help. Part 1 of making concrete in class. Hello, femboy foxes are not tolerated for school guidelines on any any circumstances. Please change your Zoom profile picture. Graze your knee, snapped your leg, cracked your head open, stick a wet paper towel on and see how you are at lunch. Finals week or my final week. Stay tuned. Oh hey, I recognize that guy from high school. How my school reacted to the lick trend. I see this every time I exit school. You're blessed. Wearing this to school tomorrow. Early 2000s grade school starter pack. I'm in high school again. Virus sends college students home to parents and their rules. My parents took my phone and laptop away because I was sleeping too late. I am a college junior turning 21 in August. What we get taught in school versus what comes in on the exam. Who else did this when submitting classwork in school? I did this a few times, I won't lie. Not allowing kids to pee or eat when they need to during school was so messed up actually. White art school kids when they see poverty. Adulthood, what school gives you to prepare. POV, you get the sudden urge to tour the entire school after asking to use the bathroom. Mountain lion found inside California high school classroom. Authorities say, screens for kids when they go back to school. Some kids are gonna be thinking they're visiting dad. Okay, you did not need to put the last part. Like if you've ever had these in your school. School children shouldn't get lunch if they don't pay. Why are we charging kids to eat somewhere they're legally required to be in the first place? How it feels to crack your back on one of those school chairs. Bringing gum to school. Bullies are the people you don't know. How it feels to have family added on social media. Big brother is what, quite literally. Shakespeare predicted brain rot. Cat hath mewed. American school buses be like. High school teachers you could be real with. History, English, that were cops. Math teachers, gym teachers. Also Spanish teachers. Every bad school has this specific bulldog as their mascot. Who else does this? I got one more minute. Me. And then I oversleep. And then I think, damn. Netflix characters. I'm just an average 16-year-old high school student. Man, this driving school course is easy. Preschool depression. The day before you go back to school and you feel like you have done nothing. Child. Dad, I need a pencil sharpener for school today. No you don't, I got you. When you try to read the clock at school really quick. When you're at school and 3 people say hello to you on your way to class. How to handle fame. Who doesn't love back to school shopping? Will I choose a ballpoint or a felt tip? I was never too fussy because I lost all my stationery within a week. I'm not a player, I'm a gamer. Players get chicks, I get bullied at school. School counselors be like, this stays between us, then calls the cop. Well, what are you telling them, bro? Why are they calling the cops? You telling you killed someone? How my parents walk to school versus me in 2020. Classroom temperature versus computer lab temperature in school. Everyone running because the school is on fire. Me making sure all my exam papers are destroyed. I hate this school, bro. Someone stole a biology teacher's snake. That's his personal snake too. It's an animal. Putting the guy through stress and the animal through stress. Nasty. Sorry SJWs, there are only 9 genders. F, male, female, fel male. High school visit on March 17th. Gender, international high school visit at Ho Chi Minh City March at March 19th. In Finland, charging fees for tuition is illegal, which means rich kids have to mix with normal kids, which means rich families had to make sure the school their kid went to was good, which meant the rich were prompted to invest in public schools. Finland, take a bow. Wouldn't they just send their kids abroad? Damn it. Damn this school. Expelment from school. Dear parents, I would like to sincerely apologize for having to expel your son. It's just that he's very interruptive and is unwilling to learn. He continually says during the history class that none of this is as serious as the 4th Great Ninja War, and he constantly screams, Datebayo! I made friends for the first 2 weeks of trucking school, and enemies. Most intriguing sentence ever. I just thought you guys would appreciate this photo of some strawberries I bought. They were very red. Embarrassed son asks dad not to wave at him in front of school bus, then regrets it for the next 170 school days. Class is boring as hell. Hey yo, Sonic! Whoever stole the purple marker, please return it. No, written in purple. The whole class. That one teacher who tries to be as calm, nice, and understanding as possible, but no one takes her seriously. What teachers think will happen if you say, please stop hurting me because it really hurts my feelings. When you know that big ab backpack stunted your growth back in school, but you just can't prove it. When you try to end it because you didn't pass the physics exam. When you look around during the exam and nobody looks confused. What teachers see versus what students see. When the exam is too hard and you've got to make sure you're still alive. What I would wear as different teachers. Gym teacher. How it feels from going to an A+ student to a as long as I pass student. random kids in class. They're doing this to each other. 5 minutes later, war is broken. This was like $2,000 back in the day. Oh, a calculator? Yeah. I can still hear the talk my mum gave me when she spent $84 on this. The type of look the janitor gives you when you airball your 5th strawberry milk. I hate you, schools. Weebs.
I like reading manga.
POV. Everyone working quietly in class. That one group. I died in 2020, and this is hell. You're in an exam and it's asking you, what does 6-7 mean? How my dumb ass looks in the mirror before school, knowing the school air will be hitting me as soon as I walk through those doors. Me when I'm zoned out during class, and the teacher said something about solids and liquids. How I feel writing ETC on my paper, knowing damn well I don't have any more examples. Our school has a stone tablet policy, which basically says that there is no excuse for not turning in your assignments, and that you must turn them in, even if you have to carve it into a stone tablet. So, this kid carved his 8-page essay into $70 worth of limestone, and the award goes to... Teacher thinks I'm paying attention, but I'm watching the mind. The mind, you ain't even know him like that, sonny boy. Middle school gym teacher who forces you to run a mile. They should be running a mile. Schools. Your paper must be a minimum of 5 pages. The real world. Explain it to me in 7 seconds or I'm out. Please, I just want to know the time. Haven't you looked at a clock for long enough to know the time? Studying just 5 minutes before the exam be like, Chapter 3, How to Land. Teachers, when they see you doing work from another class, they are like yanderes and they get jealous if you pay attention to other teachers. Reasons why I don't eat while studying. I'm convinced such things don't happen to me because God knows that I would just end it all. The homework our maths teacher gives us saying it's only a bit. People using a pen the whole day. Me after holding a pen for 10 seconds. That moment when you find an easy question in the exam. Doesn't go to school because of the maths test. Me the next day. How was the test? Friend. Sir was on leave yesterday. Today will be the test. When your teacher's so you gotta learn the whole subject by yourself. Academia changes a man. Why is this book here? Why is LeBron in the romance section? You should test yourself to memorize more efficiently. I take a test. I forget everything immediately after that. When your son's teacher says they're moving him to the special class, but you low-key been doing his homework. And I finished my essay and realized I missed the whole point. How the janitor looks at you when you yell, Kobe! And still airball the fully open carton of chocolate milk. Getting a D on your final in high school. Getting a D on your final in college. My dad found my 4th grade social repos inspired Thanksgiving turkey project. Oh, why is he native? Oh, never mind. There is a door in the ceiling of our school. No one knows where it goes, including teachers and janitors. No one has ever used it. It mysteriously opened a few days ago, and no one knows how. You can't see anything in it. It's just darkness. No one has an explanation. Our school is 98 years old. You do know you can get a ladder, right? I've been teaching for 25 years, and I have never seen a student do this before. They made their own answer. The principal announces snow day, and it aligns with other school holidays. When it ends, you have to catch up on the classes that you missed. Trade offer. I receive the feeling of productivity. You receive nothing. You studied nothing. How it feels to see your teacher outside of school. How I genuinely be when a classmate is visibly nervous about presenting, and I want them to feel listened to and confident and not judged. Kindness maxing. Go. What does the teacher got against El Borbetto? These guys had me stressing on the first day of high school, thinking I was going to be eating on the floor. When the exam is so hard that you're learning new things by reading the questions. Jokes about failing the final exam. Actually fails it. POV. How the teacher expects us to walk while the school is burning. 6th graders when I was in 1st grade. 6th graders when I am in the 12th grade. How guys in PE without deodorant were moving, knowing that next class has a test worth 70% of their grade. Said almost done on the project update. Then opened the document for the first time and got hit with a request access screen. Me, when I cheat on the test by memorizing the material it will be about. Students in chemistry lab be like, pipetting, supermodels, a random cashier girl, the girl from the other class. How it felt in school, telling another class they had to leave and give us the classroom. Somehow I got 95 out of 20 on an assignment. I hope they never fix it and leave it this way forever. Reblog the awesome grade picture for awesome grades. The class of 25 is so lucky because the year is 2025 and it's so aesthetically pleasing that they match. Everything's off. You're actually a smart kid. You just need to put some effort in in your assignments? Me. I work maintenance at a school. I taped this to the teacher's lounge computer desk over a year ago for no reason. Do not remove. One of my female students was smoking in the bathroom, so I'm sitting outside till she's done so I can suspend her. Nah bro, I'm not passing the class. What is this? F. See me after class. Maybe we should teach Spanish in school more better. Entero somewhere elso. My school's having a gender swap day. You already know I'm going to be a pretty princess. Bro, my school had a dress as your idol day, and 4 guys walked in as a German. Best teacher ever. Homework. Please do one of the following by Tuesday. Master Kung Fu. Switch religions for a day. Wear a fake mustache for 24 hours. End world hunger. Find your nemesis, earn their trust, then vanquish them, preferably with magic. In the shower, use conditioner first, then shampoo just to see what would happen. I'm curious. What teachers see versus how we feel. What gives people feelings of power? Money, status, being first in line. Lunch sprinters when they see the lost freshman. You got a lot to learn, kid. Gotta love a teacher who is fluent with memes. The end of the sun. When I die, I'm taking you with me. The concept of having to study things I don't give a damn about in order to get a job I don't give a damn about. I wish I could go back in time to show people how smart I am. What's Pythagoras' theorem? Who? Male teachers after I ask them for help. Male teachers when a girl asks for help. Teacher forgot his computer and asked for mine. Is that Ronaldo's foot covered in Nutella? How people repost depressing things and come to school like this. School is too easy. Did you draw a goon pie chart? These are all the times this person is gooning. English class. One day our country will be corruption free. Which tense is this? Future impossible tense. List 4 advantages of breast milk. No need to boil, cannot be stolen, available when needed, stored in attractive containers. Sumu. Gaming recommendation. If you like a challenge, you should try to graduate school. I studied last night. This test should be easy. Expectation. Reality. I studied last night. But what the hell is this? Don't forget our pizza, coach. You're not getting a pizza. They scored 18,000 points on you. How straight F students react when they got a sub because the teacher's entire family passed away. Teacher. 2 people have failed in the English test. Me. Impossible, bro. Dispossible. He left school, and he left school. I left school, but I'm at McDonald's. Fully prepared for the exam. A question comes outside of the book. The day before the exam, the smart kid revising the whole curriculum backwards. Me, learning about the basic core concept in chapter 1 for the first time. I got an English degree, I'm going to be a barista. Now get your master's so you can become the manager of the coffee shop. Help, the professor is so cute. What do I do? Teachers want to talk about plagiarism? Girl, I literally found your whole lesson plan on Quizlet. Teachers, when a bully hits a student. Teachers, when the student hits the bully back. This series is so stupid. Why would anyone attend a school that measures its students' worth based on their ability to deal with some meaningless pieces of paper?
I won't respond to that.
What? Why are you responding? You just did respond. Go away. My son got suspended from school today because he asked the teacher if 2 blind people had a baby, who's gonna watch it? Teachers, the actual author. Hundreds of hidden meanings to a poem. Today's kids will never know how big of a deal it was to go to the computer lab. They're always so slow. How bro stares at me while the teacher gets emotional, talking about their son dying of a disease, trying to make me laugh so it looks like I laughed at their dead son. I have a photographic memory. I'll remember this in the exam. What I remembered in the exam. Teachers at my school. Teachers in the news. My child isn't doing well in school. I will take away things they love. Why are they doing worse? Maybe I should take them away for longer. Teacher asking me for assignments on due date. Backbenchers who always submitted after semester ends. School toilets are ugly. Home toilet are heaven. How dudes in 8th grade would look at you while showing you a cartel execution at 8:37 a.m. on an overcast Monday morning. Still graduated with all Fs and 133 absences, thank God. Students will rise to the level of expectation. An F is a pass 20%? No way. When bro screams, "What was I to her?" during the exam, so I know the answer is the second option. Today, the 8-year-old told me she deliberately spelled a word wrong in the last round of the school spelling bee because if you lose, you get a piece of candy, but if you win, you just get a boring medal. How teachers feel after winning an argument against a 13-year-old. On the topic of, I can't believe that wasn't Jack Black. I can't believe this was Jack Black. Young Jack Black looks like that one dude in the back of the class that knew a little too much about World War II. School is getting dark. Meet the person responsible for your choices, grades, success, parents, divorce, and actions. When you score in the bin on the first try. When you fail. Me panicking over due dates, and then panicking over lack of time, and then panicking because I'm panicking. Every problem has a solution. Inspired by the Flintstones. A stray cat walked into a classroom in 1952 and attended school for the next 16 years. Why would you want to be at school for your whole life? You get 23 out of 33 on an exam. It's the best in the class. You convert it to a percentage. Legend said that the blue part could erase ink. Lack of time and resources. Beyond the scope of this paper. Grad students, we're all in the same boat. The boat. My brain, when someone mentions kilograms, feathers and steel. How my class just sits in silence after the teacher asked the simplest question known to man. Found this gem in my son's backpack. Draw and label something that ends with the same sound. Studying? I don't know. Throwing up? I don't know what. Naming organic compounds. During the classes. During the test. Me, opens gum. Random kid in my class. How it feels switching your focus between the lecturer and the dude playing Minecraft on his Mac 3 rows in front of you. When I get the best grade in my class. Everyone is stupid except me. Kids have safety scissors now, but we were totally allowed to use the classroom guillotine at 10 years old. Teachers, when a kid is bullied. Teachers, when the bullied kid fights back. Class clowns in school. This is where the fun begins. Class clowns at home. Get me out of this class. Hey dude man. All roads lead to Rome. W speed. You've got to be kidding me. Hurrah did not say that. It matters not what someone is born, but what they grow to be. How going back to school is going to feel like. No it won't, bro. What emotion can this possibly convey? What is that? Because of the way that maps are normally drawn, I had never realized that the US, Alaska, and Russia are almost touching. I am shook. Are schools in America just for, pow pow? I can't be the only one who thinks it's weird that people name their children weird things. I was named after a math symbol. I'm so sorry, exponent. I'm screaming when the teacher calls on me, but I was not paying attention. My English teacher in 8th grade, when I write a story about a mortician falling in love with a dead body and hearing him talk him into unaliving himself to be with her. That's a pretty dark and emotional story to be writing in 8th grade. Teacher, how can we keep our school clean? Student, by staying at home. Teacher, anyone have any questions? Students, no. Alright, go ahead and get started. Students, 1 minute later. Why was this in my English exam? Identify the error and supply the correction for the given sentence. Use the given format for your response. Neither the persistent glare of the screens nor the constant hum of the notifications distract her when she is in the flow state. Starbucks mode, you may listen to music with your headphones on. You may work anywhere that is reasonable. It's Starbucks. We are all strangers right now. Don't be the weird guy that talks to strangers at Starbucks. Get your projects done. Quiet zen. Coffee shop vibes only. The first teacher to discover Bitmojis was probably like the first humans discovering fire. Exams be like 2024. I like D, man. I like D. I like the answer D. Pause. Trees died for these books. You don't know pain until you find something on his phone you wasn't supposed to find. We broke up. Why? Cheating. Who choked? Boys with a time machine. I'm your grandson. Cool. Men. It's totally fine to have numbers that cannot be written as ratios of 2 integers. Okay. Shout out to the anonymous 6th grader for saving me a couple thousand. Bus not drawn to scale. If you're wondering what happened to your car, bus 449 hit your car. It stops it every day to drop me off. What happened? She was trying to pull off and hit the car. She hit and run. She tried to... This is an elite snitch. She tried to squeeze through but couldn't. She actually squeezed through, but she made a dent. I saw what happened. Sorry. Driver's seat left door. Update. The student who wrote the letter has been found and we're in the process of finding a way to reward her for her actions. Very grateful for what she did. I love this mental image of this quietly horrified and righteous 6th grader just being like, man, you can't do that, and writing it all out. As an autistic girl who loves the bop more than her father, this makes me indescribably happy. Look at them go, they're so happy to be there. Oh my, it's Bob, he's so cute, Bob, Bob party, Bob party. When it's 1500 BC and me and bro get caught trying to draw a picture of Cleopatra by Horus, and he's mad as hell, but bro whispers, and I low-key have to stop laughing before we get thunderbolts shoved up our butts. Making Up by Aiden. Imagine that you have broken Emma's toy. What can you say to her to make her feel better? Draw yourself in the box below, then write what you would say in the speech bubble. Hello. Did I cook on my science project? Yeah man. Who the hell signed my yearbook? What's up, Sawyer here to win that cash. Woohoo! Woo! Honestly, I'm not worried about the challenges because I'm an adrenaline junkie. Guilty? But nah, this is about to be easy as hell. Third grader. Pulls out calculator. Look at this cool trick. Third grader. You're an a-hole. Ninth grader. If you can read this, you are gay. Legit call from the school. Principal, I just wanted to touch base with you. Your daughter was baiting seagulls into the playground with gummy worms and actually caught one, like in her arms. It did bite her, but not hard. But I needed to inform you that we filed an incident report. Sir, what's the difference between a diameter and a radius? A radius. So, teacher, even if you ask me 100 times, I'll explain it to you. Me, asks a second time. Teacher, it's screw AI till your homework is due in 25 minutes. And for your information, I prefer my BS practically incoherent, rushed homework assignment made by man. Teacher, please grade each other's work, me and the boys. Nobody talks about how hard it is to be a wings boy and a book boy. Students, teachers need to teach us how to do taxes and get jobs. Also students if they did. Remember 4th grade PE when you ran a 5-minute mile in street clothes and then went directly to maths? My high school had an active threat earlier. No one got hurt, but students did find the person's Instagram. How you have 60 rounds and not hit one. Drum mag with no shots is crazy. Oh my. My history test is going great. Always trust on Yuri. Teach, don't know the struggle. His name is Aldrin. No, it's not. Date? What, the 41st year? What? F, see me after class. Ask to use the restroom and almost shed a tear. This is a bathroom pass, right? Teacher is genuinely never about to let us play Kahoot again. Kahoot is some of the funniest memories at school. Who is my little sister talking to at preschool? Ignacio? Who is that guy? Why does she draw him so well? She should be someone who draws criminals based off descriptions. When you proved your teacher wrong in the argument, well then they would just say you're answering back. Today's kids will never know the thrill of seeing who had your textbook the previous year. Oh, you can read this? I can't. I don't think kids are too far ahead is a good reason to crack down on tutoring. Children are up 2 years ahead. Calls to regulate billion-dollar private tutoring industry. Kids who see private tutors are up to 2 years ahead of the other children in school. And of course, this has provoked experts to call for changes in private tutoring, not school. Don't parents in America purposely hold their kids back so they will be at the top of their grade? My friend actually said, because he studied in America when he was younger, and apparently parents... Teacher, copy these notes carefully. They will be on the test. Literally 5 seconds later, poof, they're all gone. What song is she listening to? She's obviously trying to do math. What's worse than heartbreak? Changing an answer on a test that was right. Teacher, don't write on the tables. Kids in the back, they're not writing, they're sculpting. These pencils were everything. Nobody. Lunch lady, grab a fruit, baby. They cared more about us than anybody in the entire building. This kid in my class seriously did a presentation on bread. Bread and ancient culture and bread in modern culture. Warning, will explode entire contents when dropped in hallway. Students taking a test and the fire drill saving them. Teacher, age doesn't matter. Follow your passion. Toby, age 3, alcoholic. Sorry, professor. My falcon ate my homework. As a student, the most comforting words you will ever hear are, I haven't started it yet either. It's a lie. It's a trap. They've already submitted. Start your work. Who remembers the grade book? Me. I had a planner. This teacher who respects his students' space, but not her decision to break the rules. One of my female students was smoking in the bathroom, so I'm sitting outside until she's done so I can suspend her. Doesn't study for a test. Me, 10 minutes before a test. How to absorb textbooks like a sponge. My peers, focusing on schoolwork. I love you, my significant other. Accurate, 3rd grade teacher. I need some strong boys to carry these chairs. She's wearing Jordans just in case one of her students want to mess around to get dunked on in the name of chemistry. My daughter actually submitted this feedback at school. Not sure if I should ground her or buy her an ice cream. Things my teachers can do better. Not use collective punishment, as it's not fair on the many people who did nothing. And under the 1949 Geneva Conventions, it is a war crime. Math class in middle school be like, is this a triangle? Yes. How do you know? What? Prove it's a triangle. Look at it. Studying incentive. When you reach a gummy bear, you get to eat it. I've been studying wrong my whole life. You think I have that much control? I'm eating all of them if I do this. Have you ever gotten to that certain point in the school year where you just brain breaks? Yes, the second day. Teacher here. I ground a full school assembly of about 600 boys to a short but complete halt with a fart. It came out about 100 decibels louder than I was expecting. Managed to join in with looking around to see who'd done it and got away with it. Possibly my life's greatest achievement. How do children have so much energy? They can basically run around until they drop dead. The school system hasn't destroyed them yet. Me in class taking pictures of the board that I know I will never look at again. Professor, I gave you 4 days to finish this essay. There's no excuse. Also, Professor, here's a quiz you took 2 years ago. I finally graded them. Students, swears every single day. Teachers, swears once. Students, when a teacher who's been working for 20 years gets asked to move classrooms. Me, getting in the same dodgeball team with the strongest students. Me, getting in the same dodgeball team with the weakest students. Stupid student. Woodshop sucks. Woodworking is such a useless skill. Woodworking guys. Nobody. Public high school teachers. Pretty sure everyone's textbooks looked exactly like this. College productivity at its finest. Taking exam. Hey brain, remember studying this stuff? Yeah, we totally studied that. Awesome. So what's the answer? I don't know. I don't remember. College had me checking my emails in the middle of a party and submitting assignments in the club. How I spent the first day of school. Learning. Explaining to my teacher how to pronounce my name. Told my students if they wore Crocs tomorrow, there would be no homework. Let's see how this plays out. Only one kid had homework. Things I will miss the most when going back to school. 20 minutes of studying and gaming 24/7. Perfectly balanced. Teacher, you need to learn to have better control of your emotions. The teacher, when a student is 3.86 seconds late, fire alarm goes off. Teacher, stay calm. Kid named Calm. Guess I'll die. Students overanalyzing a poem that makes no sense. The author who was drunk and had a mental breakdown while me walking in class for a test without having ever studied. Optimistic. Left-handed students. Exists. These stupid desks. Rich people, poor people. People who shake the entire table in art class just by erasing one line. Teachers telling their students to sign into the most random website they will use twice because it will count 50% of their grade. The professor's wife confronting him about his affair. The professor. Everyone else in the Zoom meeting. I'm fairly certain this has happened once. It's kind of funny but sad. School helps you improve your drawing skills. Remember these multicolored pens? Yeah, we tried to press all the colors at the same time. A recent survey asked 12-year-olds what they had done over the past week. 83% answered, your mum. When all you want to do is sleep, but attendance counts for 15% of your final grade. Pass your quiz back to the person behind you to grade. Did you know it's a violation of student privacy laws to let students grade each other's quizzes? It's also illegal to call out grades. It is just straight up illegal to allow students to know other students' grades in the US. So in summary, bribe away kids, your teacher is breaking federal laws. High school teachers, they're not gonna baby you in college. College professors, you want a rap battle for extra credit? The class clown telling a joke. The whole class. Me, who was the, okay, this person was bullied. School bus driver cuts grass at stops so students don't have to wait in weeds. Japan ninja student gets top marks for writing essay in invisible ink. I can do a month's work in hours, but only if a deadline is about to kill me. Got my prom dress. This is what it looks like. She just copies and pastes the location of the photo in her PC. Fail? Not really. You have to copy it and paste it where you would type in a website. The cyberbullying section of my college book. Help. We are going to get you after school. That doesn't even sound like cyberbullying. That sounds like they're going to carpool. When the substitute can't control the class and has to call in an actual teacher. What if university burns down? If a university burns down or is destroyed otherwise, all current students immediately graduate with a bachelor's degree. Hey Ferb, I know what we're gonna do today. College students, we're all in the same boat. The boat, 0 in division. I destroy math and you simply can't divide by me. 0 in addition. Please help, they're ignoring me. Indian guy on YouTube, do you trust me? Me, a night before my exams, with every cell of my body. US universities are charging full fees for virtual class this fall. This is absurd. University management. Classroom lights suddenly turn off. Those 2 girls in my class, screaming until I pass out challenge. Class starts packing away 2 minutes before the bell. The teacher. Abby Lee Miller cries and eats mac and cheese during her last moments before heading to jail. Me going back to school after break. like road to graduation and that one teacher. Teacher, the test is easy. The test, name these countries. Looks green, colors yellow. Who remembers writing using finger spaces? Not me. I remember getting my pen license though, from a pencil to a pen. Did you guys have that? I have two sides. Scared of anything lower than an A. I don't even care about school. I'm not doing this assignment. Biology students, after studying microbiology. Students to literally any substitute teacher. Are you really in charge here? Whatever happened to using tennis balls on chair legs to prevent squeakage? This is a thing? Let it grow. Sick of this school, bro. Don't lie. Were you popular in high school? I was in that weird middle class of high school students who weren't technically popular, but was cool with the popular kids and the lames. And the lames, bro, what do you mean while writing? Students be like, just to be sure, 5 + 3 = 8. Me taking a test? When did we learn this? What is this? Come on, I know this one. Who cares? I'm gonna work at McDonald's. When the teacher doesn't want you to pass the exam. What is a microphone? False and true. What isn't a microphone? Y'all ever be watching a movie about kids in high school? Then a picture gets sent to everyone at the school on their phone. And I'm just sitting there like, how do they have everybody's phone number? Kids who's had their hand up for so long that they had to take it down because they literally couldn't hold it up for any longer. Teachers, kid who's stretching. This has happened to me too many times. And then they look at me like, you really put your hand down because I didn't pick you? Tell me something I don't know. High school students today have the same anxiety levels as the 1950s insane asylum patients. Back to school shopping. They want to buy a brain cell, but it's out of stock. When I tell my teacher that a bully hit me, say, I hope not, because you didn't see or hear it happen. Be a responsible teacher and do something about it. My 5th grade teacher. This is some childhood trauma to remember this. Highlight of my day. I finished my exams. Me looking at bro after he yells, is that a cellular device? In the middle of class. I'll study later since the exam is a couple of weeks from now. I really don't need to study much because I'm doing okay on the assignments. How hard will it be? Professor isn't going to give us anything we've never seen before. I'll study during the exam. My English professor walked into class, saw algebra on the board and yelled, oh, what the hell is this? Get me an eraser before I pass out. Student, we finally finished all of our assignments. Teacher, I think not. The class, after making the nice teacher angry. Everyone feels bad. Primary school, work, work, work. High school, sleep. Not really working. University, Shakespeare hires bulls. What, you egg? He stabs him. English teachers, baffled. He stabs him with an egg. Chemistry class, expectation versus reality. Finally, Obamium. Yes, water. Incoming freshmen enjoying their orientation. Overworked and underpaid student staff, making sure the whole place doesn't fall apart. Teacher, you got 69%. Everyone laughs. Teacher, that was the highest mark in the class. Me, when you know the answer on Kahoot, smashing that button. That boy is from AP Physics 1 Essentials, page 179. Female teachers sleeping with students and male teachers. Students should only focus on exams. This is their top priority in life. Life is more than just exams. Teachers, the entire class. And the entire class when I take out my chewing gum. New classmate introduces himself. The memory of his name 2 seconds later. Online classes be like, yeah, 1 in a million classes people would turn their cameras on. I'd like to take this opportunity to say thank you to student loans for getting me through college. I don't think I'll ever be able to repay you. A stamp that makes perfectly drawn benzene rings. Chemistry students, invest. This year, I'm going to start studying early so it doesn't accumulate. The teacher who just shut down texters everywhere. Dear students, I know when you're texting in class. Seriously, no one just looks down at their crotch and smiles. Sincerely, your teacher. My brain when I'm pooping, and my brain when I'm giving an exam. Just poop during your exam. Teacher, today we'll learn about Greek mythology. The kid who reads Percy Jackson. The kid who plays God of War. I'm gonna ask you this one time. Where is Gomorrah? History teachers? Yeah, I'll do you one better. Who is Gomorrah? Philosophy teachers? I'll do you one better. Why is Gomorrah? What about when is Gomorrah? Okay, class, time to learn about your family tree. The kid from Alabama. Option A, option B, option C, and option D. And what my calculator gave me. If students are happy about a deadly virus closing schools, then maybe schools should rethink their education system. Education. That sign won't stop me because I can't read. Anton posted a photo to your wall. Netta name. P. Enos. I'm gonna name my kid this if this video gets 100 likes. There. Ain't nobody got... Okay, I have time for that. I think you should have time for that. Punctuation is important. Slowest things in the known universe. A sloth, cornu aspicum, hair growth, school Wi-Fi. Teachers trying to figure out the best seating arrangement for the sake of everyone's safety and sanity. When you put on your best fit for school, but she's absent. If school isn't a place to sleep, then home isn't a place to study. Teachers, no, this isn't how you're supposed to play the game. There's a college student right now thinking, I'll wake up early tomorrow to do this assignment. That's the devil talking. The fact that there are imaginary numbers in mathematics is proof that humans create their own problems and then cry. Being a student at university, I can't afford adopting a pet from the shelter. Instead, I buy plants nobody else wants from the store that are probably going to die and plant them on my terrace. Then I imagine they are happy to be alive, and that makes me happy too. Schools be like, we don't tolerate bullying. We don't actually tolerate bullying being discovered because it might tarnish our school's reputation. So bully victims better be quiet. The dudes who just shoved their papers in their backpacks with no folders in elementary school all in prison now. The teacher is 15 minutes late, so we're legally allowed to leave. You know it was going to be a good day in maths when the teacher brought out the fun-sized M&Ms or Skittles. My neighbors, who are college kids, are testing a new cash flow alternative. Please throw your cans in my yard. Thank you. No, seriously, do. College in a nutshell. You answered 18 out of 18 correctly, but unfortunately, you need 19 out of 18 to pass this quiz. College life in a nutshell. When the professor asks you a question, and you have to act like you're reading the boards still, so he doesn't call on you. Bro's hiding that Krabby Patty secret formula. Plankton ain't breaking into this one. What a week at school looks like. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. School. It can kill. Me and another classmate seeing each other on the same Google document at 2 a.m. Then you message them and start talking to them. Doctor, this is your spine. What the hell? Put it back. Should I do doctor memes? When students cheat on exams, it's because our school system values grades more than students value learning. Leaves this here and backs away. High school summed up. If laziness was on the Olympic Games, I would rank 4th so I wouldn't have to climb the winner's stairs. In my senior drama class, I had to play Gordon Ramsay for a film project, but we could only film in school, so we had to find a closed-off room to use. The thing is, the room wasn't exactly soundproof, and apparently someone heard us, and that's the story of how the vice principal and 4 freshmen walked in on me wearing a chef's hat and yelling at my friend because her squid was so raw. I could still hear it telling SpongeBob to off. Did you get an A? Based on the no reply in the meme, I think they did. I'd like to think so. My English teacher accused me of plagiarizing an essay I wrote about my own life. My friend got accused of plagiarizing in junior high because she used the word sweets instead of candy, and our teacher thought that the word sweets was too advanced for our vocabulary. Once I scraped my knee in 3rd grade, and a weird girl who was obsessed with horses was like, hold on. Then she started crying and dropped tears on my knee, and then was like, Pegasus tears heal wounds. Public high school things. Naruto kids punching windows, Kahoot. Miss, come on. Leaks coming from everywhere, screams from every direction. Jeopardy review games, chicken nuggets that are orange and all the same shape. People fighting for no reason. Couples who make out in the hallways like they're never gonna see each other again. Those kids who take the bathroom pass and disappear for half of the class. Clapping in the middle of lunch for no reason. Only going to the homecoming game. Being embarrassed by the student art in the halls. That one teacher that no one calls Mr., Mrs., Miss, etc. but instead just their last name. Hearing yelling from other classrooms and wondering what is going on. What's your favorite way you've been roasted by a student? One time I blocked a kid's computer because he was going on YouTube instead of doing his work, and he told me that was why I didn't have a boyfriend, and it made me giggle and then write about it on a Reddit post and then cry. Told my students to write the essay question at the top of their page. Fully half the class wrote the essay question. In 5th grade, my friend and I had a genius idea to start a business where we would purchase school supplies from the student store, then sell them for less money. So my school is under construction, and yesterday as I was leaving, I passed a construction worker who murmured under his breath, I hate this school. And I just went, yep, me too. And he whipped around and yelled, thank you. Like he had finally found someone who understood him, and that was the highlight of my day. About 2 weeks ago, I was working on a history paper, and it was around 2 a.m. and I was hungry. So I went to the pantry to get some food, and I found a bag of tortilla chips, but they were really big chips, so I broke one in half, and for some reason I thought the noise was hilarious. So I kept breaking them in half, and that is the story of how my parents found me on the floor of the pantry crying hysterically, surrounded by tortilla chips at 2 a.m. Finals. My friends were chatting with each other in class, which was kind of against the rules, so our teacher gave them extra assignments as a punishment. But since I was seated next to them, somehow I had to do the assignments too, even though I did not chat with them at all. All my teachers in high school, college will be infinitely harder than high school. They will show you no mercy. My professor for my senior level immunology class. Question 1. 1. Dr. Wilbur forgot to write the quiz. Would you like 10 free points? You can't even say no. I guess you can by not doing it. When you email your professor at 2 a.m. and they respond within a minute. Once in college at 3 a.m., I couldn't get my printer to print out my assignment that was due at 9 a.m. So I emailed my professor with, "I am Sleeping Beauty and some days my prints will come. In the meantime, here is an electrical copy." And she emailed me back in like 5 minutes and telling me she'd laughed so hard she startled her dog away. A haiku about buying college textbooks. What the hell, textbooks? You're made of paper and ink, not diamonds. In 4th grade, my best friend was in a death feud over chess with a boy in our class, but instead of competing like a normal person would, they decided that the best way to determine who was a chess master was for each of them to select one of the 2 biggest idiots in class and teach them to play chess. My fair lady style, and see whose idiot won. We are just now, 22 years later, grappling with the moral implications of this exercise. I wonder what's happening right now over at Hogwarts. Probably education, since Harry doesn't go there anymore. When the professor wants you to buy $300 textbooks, but your friends hooked you up with the free PDFs. Pretty sure my old school wouldn't have allowed this. They would have just said, no, you need to buy the textbooks. I wasted so much money on textbooks, damn. Where are they now? I don't know. LeBron James Jr. won't wear his dad's number. He doesn't want people to know who he is. Coming in number 4, LeBron James Jr. Hey yo, bruh, who is that guy? This is the greatest letter home from summer camp ever to be written. Dear mum, good you packed extra underwear since I had diarrhea. I think I've read enough. If I read any more, I'll be sick. School is mentally killing us all because we're worrying about failing. Crazy way of saying you're just too lazy to do your work when you get arrested because you never learned how to do taxes. But still no mitochondria are the powerhouses of the cell. Or trigonometry, thank you. Me every August 1st. What else can you do with it? I think this is a teacher meme, like 4 teachers. I suddenly want to live in the UK. Yeah, but our gradings is differently because our questions are also different. And the difficulty. I'm sure you could get a converter, you know, like what the equivalent is in America to UK. My buddy recently broke up with his girlfriend. He sent me this screenshot of his phone this morning. They are all from her. I need her. Middle school comebacks. Good comeback. Your mum. School. You can't bring any weapons. Kids. Teacher. Dies. The students. They all fail. 8th graders and 7th graders thinking 6th graders are annoying. The 8th graders. Me. I'm literally so busy and overwhelmed with schoolwork. Also me. Teacher. He's one of my brightest students. Me. Boobies. My math teacher started filming this kid because he started doing his work for the first time all semester. When your teacher doesn't round your 24.6% to a 90. Teachers be like, what are those? No shoulders allowed. My chemistry teacher's solution to people stealing her calculators. Whoever stole the purple marker, please return it. No, the whole class. I sit in class for attendance, and then I go home and teach myself. College in a tweet whenever I try to study. Brain is not responding. Do you want to close book? Teachers 0.4 seconds after telling a student it's too inappropriate for school. Student gets bullied. School puts up a no bullying sign. Bullies. This kid has been staring at a picture of broccoli for about 15 minutes now. He keeps zooming in and out and looking over every branch. Finals weeks has really taken a lot out of some people. So this morning before class, a girl was straightening her hair while drinking Starbucks. Meanwhile, the girl on the left was enjoying a tasty bowl of lasagna because she missed breakfast. This is my school. When your mum asks for a picture of your report card. Back of laptop. Exists. College girls with stickers. Screw your zodiac sign. Which color is science? School. We treat every student equally. Also the school to left-handers. I survived her. Whoa. Bulletproof vests? Do you ever just look at your homework like this? I look at people like this. I look at everything like this. I look like this. Almost done. School. Almost high school. Oh yes, college. Oh no, life. Students made to wear cardboard boxes during exam to prevent cheating. Dear teachers, just because we are at home doesn't mean we have all the free time in the world. I pushed the bully in self-defense. Schools. So you fought back, but it was in self-defense. Suspension for a week. Dad, we just got back from parent-teacher conferences. You've been expelled. Kid, but I'm homeschooled. You have 24 hours to get out. School. Teacher's mental maths. Also school. Show your work. You have 90 minutes to complete 60 questions. You will have 3 hours to complete 2 questions. What you did with rulers in school. Used it for math. Put it on a pencil and spun it like it was a helicopter. Group projects make me understand why Batman prefers to work alone. Relatable. So my teacher had us do a lab today involving heating glass over a flame, and he kept a tally of how many students got injured. Yup, 4th period doesn't know how to party. I'm trying to figure out how 2nd period managed to tally up a near-death experience. I wish schools would teach young men how to cope with rejection. Managing the ego is a lot more important than algebra. Oh, dude, I'm late for insult class. Needs 20 more words for essay. I am. My school is... No way your school is where this meme meme was originated from 7-year-old me walking into the school toilets and seeing some kid piss on the floor instead of the perfectly placed urinal in front of him. 90s teachers. You aren't always going to have a calculator in your pocket. Me now. It's time to do my homework. 1 minute later, 3 minutes later. Oh look, it's a fly. Teacher. Discuss your answers with the person sitting next to you. Me and the guy sitting next to me. Teacher with a computer problem and the kid with glasses. Person looking for an empty stool and me taking a poop. Should children be taught how to grow food as a part of their schooling? Yes. And they should also be taught how to fight zombies. Nobody. The one kid who doesn't wear his coat when it rains. School toilets exist. Students poop on the floor. 5th grade. Oh boy, I can't wait for high school. It's going to be so fun and awesome. High school. Me. Why haven't I made any friends in college? Me. When the lecture ends. Not all goodbyes are sad. Example. Goodbye class. It's hard to argue with his assessment. Me. Wondering why I'm lagging during online class. My little brother in the next room. Back in the 90s, your school served you this for lunch and you were excited about it. I hate when they make you describe yourself on the first day of school. Like me. Tired, angry egg trying to live an honest life. So I was walking to class when I noticed a huge gem in the busiest hallway of the school and a bunch of people screaming, rooting aggressively for these 2 seniors. So the teacher and vice principal rush in to break up the fist fight to find out it's a Beyblade battle. My mum and dad debating whether I should go to a public school or private school. Me, who is waiting for the letter from Hogwarts. Me in high school. Every day I wake up at the crack of dawn, grind the entire day, then do extracurricular activities. Me in college. Oh, 10 a.m. lectures are too early. What kids in my gym class think light jog means. Run like hell. Light jog. When students cheat on exams, it's because our school system values grades more than students value learning. Leaves this here and backs away. High school summed up. When you see people from a school in public. Frog exists. Biology students. Today kids will never know the struggle when you lose one of the pieces on these. The bullied kid explaining what happened. The school only hearing. So I fought back. At school. Hey teacher, I saw your friend Candace yesterday. What? Who's Candace? The rest of the class trying to stop me. Guys in elementary school used to lie about the dumbest things. Like, bro, your great uncle was not on the Titanic. I got an iPhone. I just can't bring it to school. Me on the first day of the school year. Happy, rested, motivated. Me on the last day of the school year. Tired, sick of school. Bathrooms in middle school be like, yo, someone's taking a poop. Me in my stall. When you zone out in class for 2 seconds. I don't know how to explain it, but odd numbers are way funnier than even. 3. Ha 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 ha. Living up to your name. Me typing in small letters to my crush because she is against capitalism. I have no idea what that is. If I was his teacher, I would have given him an A, top marks. I would have given him some money as well. Prepare for high school, then prepare for college, then prepare for your career, and then prepare for retirement, and then you're dead. Then prepare for skeleton wall. When those high school Spanish classes finally pay off, after years of studying maths, I finally found the square root. Saw this in class today. And yes, that is cheese. This guy doesn't care. 15th century peasant after winning the lottery. I organized my homework in order of urgency by how scary I find the teacher. Saw this on my way home from work today. Beware, school's out. Teachers on the highway, move out of their way. Weather, minus 20 degrees, minus 200 degree wind chill. 5 feet of snow on the ground, yet he's abducting people foolish enough to be outside. That one guy, seeing student memes like, humor based on my pain. Ha ha ha. My teacher gave me back some papers and I thought it said salsa. And I asked the person next to me why my teacher wrote salsa on my paper. And then the person next to me was like, that says 59 out of 59, not salsa. I'm so dumb. How did you get 4 marks if you're so dumb? Huh? Teacher. The next person who laughs gets suspended. Me. Takes a look at my bro. His face. The quiet kid. Me, about to go in front of the class and do all the talking. The project he did all by himself. He needs you and you need him. Changing the date on your paper to a few days earlier so the teacher doesn't see that you did it last minute. Math teacher. What part don't you understand? Me. I'm thinking about it. Just everything. Final exams. Things in the course. Things on the exam. Things I studied. School lunches like this made me starve. School, preparing us for the real world. Reasons why I hate school. 10% homework. Teachers, I'm bad at math. We need students to like school. More homework. Less talking. Don't force them to do useless subjects. Emailing teachers be like me. Polite greeting. Multiple paragraphs. Perfect grammar. Teacher, sure. Sent from my iPhone. How's college going? Me. Dude came into class 20 minutes before it's over and says, sorry, I was in jail. Thoughts. Maths teachers. First day. Okay. Okay guys, we're already behind. Mum, if I have 8 apples and eat 3, how many do I have left? 7. If I have 8 apples, nothing worse than math at the kitchen table. You couldn't leave, eat, or go to sleep until it was done. Being a happy introvert sitting alone. Today we're working in... I loved working in groups. Marty ate 4/6 of his pizza, and Lewis ate 5/6 of his pizza. Marty ate more pizza than Lewis. How is that possible? Marty's pizza is bigger than Lewis's pizza. Me in 3rd grade telling my friend how to come to my house. Oops from a teacher. Oops from a surgeon. Oops from a nuclear physicist. Just use a calculator. No, if you can't do all math in your head or on paper, you are dumb. Use a calculator. College professors. Keeping literally everything about them a secret. Oversharing their life story. Failing marriage and extreme political views. I make learning boring. I encourage lack of creativity. I give students 40 minutes of break over 6 hours. Why does no one like school? Catholic high school teacher fired after headmaster finds her OF. The teacher shouldn't be here. The headmaster. Neither should you. School superpowers. Pick one. Memorize anything. Sleep with a book to know the info. Plus 15 IQ. 50% chance to correctly answer a multiple choice. Silence a classmate for class. Free school books. Sleeping with a book. Being understanding to their students and accepting that everyone makes mistakes. Screaming your head off for every single mistake a student makes. Shout out to Mr. Johnson for making PB&J for his kiddos. He didn't eat breakfast before our AP test this morning. Teachers don't get paid enough. Social media is bad for teens. Follow our Instagram. Schools. Elementary school. Boy kisses girl, kisses back. Ew. Middle school. How cute. High school. Get a room. I've never seen how cute ever. It's always gross. Teacher. Wikipedia isn't a reliable source since anyone can write anything in it. The hundreds of fact checkers and editors. Thank you, student loans, for getting me through college. I don't think I can ever repay you. College students are simultaneously stereotyped for not getting enough sleep and for sleeping all the time. High school teachers versus college professors. The bell does not dismiss you. I do. I'm a head out. College professors want to leave as soon as they can. School. Haha, there is no need for students to be stressed out about exams. They are well prepared if they did the 12 hours of homework daily. Students. If I throw myself down these stairs, I will have 3 more weeks to study. Money. School administration. Academics. Teachers. Maintenance. Anything that helps students. I'ma bury this in the pebbles on a playground and make some kid feel like they won the lottery. Ooh, I stepped in poop. The teacher's pet. Trade offer. I receive 7 hours of useless info and terror. You receive depression. It's not really an offer. It's more like you're telling me. Deal. There is a boarding school where all classes are 100% optional. If a child wants to, they can just play all day every day. My teacher told me about this in high school. As humans, we have a natural thirst for knowledge. While naturally kids did their own thing for the first few weeks, they eventually started going to class. It teaches them to want to go to class. You're not forced to learn, and because of that, you want to learn. That's brilliant. Rapper. Talks about growing up poor in the ghetto. The rich kids at school. Relatable. When your friend asks too many questions during your presentation in class. After the presentation, you have chosen death. Doesn't check grades. Doesn't check bank account. Pretends everything is okay. If you haven't cried in math class, you're not allowed to follow me. Mathematical illiterates on this blog only. You don't need to be mathematically illiterate to cry in math class. You just keep taking higher and higher math until you cry. When I'm sick during a holiday, and when I'm sick during school time, call the priest. On the menu today. Macaroni and screw it. Kinda looks good. It's just got a point. Remember, the more you wait, the harder you are to kidnap. Stay safe, eat cake. Kind of looks like a prison. Must be place of higher education. When you confidently blurt out an answer in class and it's wrong. Friend, have you ever accidentally made eye contact with someone for like 15 times? Yes, with Invigilator while cheating in college. Biologists are just a bunch of cells that talk about other cells. Me. Can I put a skeleton wearing a backpack on my collage? Teacher. The collage is supposed to represent you. Yeah, so how does that represent you? Dead, but still trying. When your foot accidentally touches someone else's foot under the table. Me for back to school shopping versus me for back to school. Literally no one. Every bus seat designer. John, 26 years old. University is not stressful at all. Cancel the funeral because I decided to live. Dying is not an option. When my university work starts to make a bit of sense. In college there are no assigned seats, but after about 3 classes, don't sit in my seat, bro. We teach children to question things. They question grades, we get defunded. We get defunded, my peers. Focusing on schoolwork. I love you, my significant other. Teacher, what comes before 47? Quiet kid. AK, me. 9-year-old finishes college in just 9 months. Me, trying to think of the first 3 letters of the ABC. I was not a university topper, but today, all university toppers are all my employees. This is the only reason I don't top in exams. After 5 years of tireless work, my thesis is finally finished. University checker says 90% AI. I wrote every word, because we are AI. My school's scheduling all the construction to finish exactly right after I graduate. Schools only test your memory and admit it. Even if you passed, you forgot most of your answers. Education systems, they could read this, they'd be very upset when you realize you have to go back to school. History in school and history as a hobby. Saying screw in high school. Saying stupid in preschool. High school ends. Everyone, we gotta keep seeing each other. We can't lose contact in college. Please do not contact me. High school in Asia. High school in Europe. High school in America. I have no type of school spirit. Screw the school. Screw the students. I hate the desks too. Schools waiting for bullied kids to stand up for themselves and then expel them. All students this year, regardless of socio-economic status, will receive breakfast, lunch, and dinner for free. There are people who are getting mad in the comments saying that it's not free because taxpayers pick it up. Could you imagine being mad that kids get to eat? Are you homework? Because I'm not doing you and I should be. I am a term paper the night before it's due. Asking the teacher about their life so you waste class time. The math teacher when you use a different formula but get the right answer. Well, new ideas are fine, but they're also illegal. Them. Wow, your attendance in online school is so high. How do you do that? Me. When you're in 3rd grade and the teacher leaves the room. Cool math games. Men use, kids use, legends use, and ultra legends use. Say you go to Harvard. Say you go to Harvard. Harvard students. Did a Harvard student make this meme as well? That would meet the criteria. When you feel guilty for not studying, but you're still not studying. There's a tradition where if you step on the campus seal in the middle of the quad, you won't graduate in 4 years unless you touch a statue of our school mascot. A goat that is like 60 feet away across an open field. Within 10 seconds, and I just watched a senior accidentally step on it, holler at the top of his lungs, drop his bags, and break into a dead sprint across the lawn. I love college. You know school memes? Like memes within schools? Like that one teacher who always says a certain thing and everyone knows it, so it becomes a school meme. Yeah, one of our teachers kept saying, gotta look sharp, because every Thursdays we would have to wear suits, like it was formal day, whatever. He'd always say that. He'd always come up to me and say, Johnny, you gotta look sharp. Are you ever in class and you hear a random muffled scream from a nearby class and you're like, what the hell is going on? What the hell kind of school do you go to? Public school? One time this happened except of a scream. It was a really loud bagpipe, and we all kind of thought about it for a minute before going, oh, it's probably Kevin. Making kids learn nothing. Making kids depressed. School. Once in high school, my friend kicked her leg up and her shoe flew off and smashed into the ceiling with this huge bang, and the teacher whirled around and yelled, who did that? And my friend just stared at her as the ceiling tile fell and shattered on the floor between them, and the shoe thumped down on top of it, and my friend just went, that's not my shoe, while standing there with one shoe on. I was in art class today. A girl was crying and her friend was comforting her, but she kind of just stopped and was like, I'm sorry about what happened, but where did you get your eyeliner? It seems to be really good. Like, it didn't smudge or anything. Then the girl that was crying sniffled and said, it's Sharpie. School when bullying, when gum, when swearing, when bullied kid stands up for himself/herself, when Wikipedia article. This is the guy from my maths book who buys 50 pineapples for no reason. He probably knows something. The fog is coming. Chat. Can't. Email. I cannot. Essay of 3,000 words. Henceforth, I am unable to can. Or you can just text a bunch of stuff, then make it colorless like the text so it still counts as words. My dreams be like, you seem stressed. Would you prefer to lose all your teeth tonight or return to high school? Best revenge. This nerd was bullied throughout high school, but today he's an adult who owns several Funko Pop figurines. What's dad math? My dad was helping me with linear algebra once, and he said, you can use anything for a vector space. You can make a vector space with cows as long as you define what a negative cow would be. Then I started crying because that made it worse. People just join the military because they're too dumb to go to college. Okay, Miley. If you add 2 pounds of sugar to literally 1 ton of concrete, it will ruin the concrete and make it unable to set properly, which is good to know if you want to resist something being built. French anarchists used this to resist prison construction in the 80s. I'm just gonna reblog this for purely educational purposes. Public school is having to use the leaf that was stuck to the door as a bathroom pass. What? What the hell? I was never a fan of physics, but this would have got my interest. Meme bin! Go in the meme bin! Now! Me going to school and me, so you're just admitted to stealing. You're a criminal. Mods, find his house, rob him, seize his properties, now! I love seeing art school kids struggle to hold their big drawings on their way to school. Haha, that's what you get for what? I know that. Anyway, when high school teachers tell you, in college, they don't let you have a note card. You have to memorize everything. Or teachers throw away your homework if you don't put your name on it. And they don't accept late work. It's all BS. High school does an efficient job of making you absolutely terrified of college, while not preparing you whatsoever for college. Are you making the right choice? A school laptop or a green chicken? I would get a green chicken, but I hear they're very loud. One of my friends has a green chicken. Very loud. How it started versus how it's going. So they have a degree, they have a bachelor's, and they're trying to get a job at McDonald's. That's fine. As long as you know you're going to use that degree later down in your life. People think, oh, I'm going to get a job at McDonald's or I'm going to get a job here. It doesn't mean you're going to be working there for the rest of your life. I used to work at a cafe when I was like 14. That doesn't really count. The girl next to me is talking on the phone and says, my first day of classes as a freshman is over. Isn't it crazy that in just 4 years I'll be working at my dream job? Should I tell her? No, let her learn. High school is when I was in elementary, when I was in middle school, and when I was in high school. I have this vivid memory of sitting down in assembly. I was in year 6, which would have been grade 5, and we were looking at grade 8. Bro, they looked like they were 25. I don't know how my brain even thought that. I don't understand. Well, you are stupid. I don't understand. Indian man on YouTube. I will teach you, my son. I am so ready to go back to school. Whoa, hang on. Are you really sure you're only going to need one pen? Joke of the week. School. My school's jokes are actually getting funny. How schools expect bullying to stop? You're bothering me. Please stop. Understandable. Have a great day. As a college student, my favorite words are cancelled and free. Free pizza is cancelled. Why would you even say something like that? Why can't teachers just stand up or squat like a normal person? Students in 350 BCE can't wait to become an expert in everything and discover stuff. Students today just came up with a title for my essay. That's enough writing for today. I just realized that never is a contraction of not ever, and blush means blood rush. Also, studying is student dying. How I think I look like while studying at 3 a.m. How I actually look like. When the kid who pooped on the teacher's desk comes back from a month suspension, I failed a student for their midterm grade, and they just sent me an email that just says, bruh, seriously, can we appreciate the respectfully though? So my aunt is a preschool teacher, and this is what one of her parents got her. The reason you drink. College students are simultaneously stereotyped for not getting enough sleep and for sleeping all the time. Professors started talking about differential equations in physics lecture. 10 high-paying jobs for college dropouts. My professor sent us this link as the final exam key. The person who invented homework was an Italian teacher named Roberto Novellis. He invented homework in 1905 as a punishment for his students. Texas college girl drives around in Barbie Jeep after her DWI arrest. Me. Why haven't I made any friends in college? Me. When the lecture ends. Getting out of class early because my professor's dog ate his notes. Chinese student gets trapped in elevator for 5 hours, completes his homework. I mean, what else are you supposed to do? I don't blame him. Student athletes. Baseball players working hard in between workouts. Absolutely writing with a piece of nothing. I love when I just write with air. It's so much better than a pen. If all crimes were legal for 24 hours, what are you doing? Deleting my name from all student loans. I'm not paying back my student loans. They need to learn financial responsibility. Lending 20k to an 18-year-old. My professor said my assignment was late because it was due Friday. Like, Phil, my dude, last time I checked, the concept of time is dead and days don't exist anymore. Remember in school when we had to put these orange covers over the keyboards when practicing our typing skills so we wouldn't be able to peek at where the letters are? No? What the hell kind of school did you go to? Prison? When Mary Jane is in trouble but attendance is 20%, be like John. This is John. John has 3 papers of homework due, 2 tests tomorrow, and needs to wash the dishes. John decided to sleep. School bans bags, so boy turns up carrying books in a microwave. Dear students, I know when you're texting in class. Seriously, no one just looks down at their crotch and smiles. Sincerely, your teacher. Shout out to the people who have already asked the exact question from my homework on Reddit answers. I had to reword it because we don't really use Yahoo anymore. I hate when teachers leave a question mark when they grade my work. Like, mate, I don't know what's going on either. What do you call a snake that studies past events? Don't you dare. A historian. I'll kill you. We're having online classes from now on, and the struggle is real. It took my robotics professor 15 minutes to unmute himself on Skype. Update, programming professor is streaming over Twitch with a gaming headset and a Corona beer. Most on-brand thing I've ever seen. I pay $20,000 in tuition. I'll make drugs in this thing if I want to. My college doesn't want us to make popcorn in their awful microwave. Someone put this on my car on campus. Please don't reproduce. School is not a place to sleep, then home is not a place to study. Thank you. High school teachers. College is not a joke. Question I had on my college exam today. If I'm going to take my horse to the Old Town Road. I can never look at my biology textbook without laughing because of this praying mantis. He's like, what's up? Let's do some science. My favorite college experience is when I had a 7 a.m. class and the kid next to me literally poured a Monster Energy into his coffee and said, I'm going to die, and drank the whole thing. I knew a guy who brewed his instant coffee with Monster instead of water. 3 cups in 2 hours. I think he ascended to the astral realm. The survivability of the human race never ceases to amaze me. So a mystery student just emailed my entire class a free PDF version of our textbook and left probably the best email I've ever seen. Yo, what up, classmates? This is your boy Gary Oak. Here's the textbook for free. Smell ya later. Teachers are using AI to grade students' papers. Students are using AI to solve papers, and teachers are using AI to grade them. What's the point in going to school then? I hate it when engineering students refer to themselves as engineers. Like, you don't see med students calling themselves doctors, or art students calling themselves unemployed. Art students? I was murdered. Teacher, discuss your answers with the person sitting next to you. Me, and the guy sitting next to me. My outfit for school tomorrow. I have given up. The teacher heading to the conference room with the kids who said they will help lift the chairs. Accurate. This is the worst semester of my life. The worst semester of your life so far. Bill Gates was a dropout. Yeah, but he dropped out of Harvard, not 11th grade intensive reading. I hate it when mum says, get up, it's already morning, sun is out. So what am I supposed to do? Photosynthesize? So my school did a count and about 30 to 40 girls in my school are pregnant. Lord, please help us. Where my pencil goes when I drop it on the floor. On the floor, to another universe. The professor has no chill. Relative dating, not the Alabama kind. How's studying going? What is a microphone? True. False. Using your old work in a new assignment is plagiarism. Man, you just killed my vibe. That's wickety whack, yo. Exam. A student concludes that 1 + 1 = 2. Alright, that makes sense. Explain why this student is incorrect. Me. Bro, do you know Newton's second law? I'm a science student, bro, not a law student. Gathered concern. Happy Teacher's Day, ma'am. Who are you? I'm your old student. Right, teacher. 10 times. Student loans. Cursive binding. Still with me. And your first wish is triple world hunger. And your second? Double student debt. Foreign student hospitalized in China gets note from nurse who doesn't speak English. Tonight, 10. Okay, so I think she means tonight after 10, no food, no drinks, and tomorrow morning, surgery at 8. That one time a guy from my school was sent home for wearing a skirt, and everyone wore skirts as a protest the following day. That's beautiful. High school students in 2013 had the same anxiety levels as insane asylum patients in the 1950s. I think this may be a sign that there's something wrong with the way schools teach. Imagine how insane asylum patients feel now. You might think UK universities offering therapy dogs instead of counseling is bad, but at my university, they have this thing where they will let you lie in a grave for a while and think about life. It's called the purification grave, and you're not allowed to take phones or books in it with you. Student, I want to die. Okay, we can't do that, but we have the next best thing. Need me a self-care grave. What are you doing? Laying on my emotional support grave? Doing homework at 3 a.m. In school, 60%. I'm so dumb. In college, 60%. I'm a genius. Hi, I am back from school. I think I'm going to end my life. I don't know the difference between there, and there. The line in my textbook makes it almost worth the $160 I spent on it. The hypothalamus plays a major role in the regulation of basic biological drives related to survival, including the so-called 4 Fs: fighting, fleeing, feeding, and mating. Are you ever in class and you hear a random muffled scream from a nearby class and you're like, what the hell's going on? What the hell kind of school did you go to? Public. One time this happened, except instead of a scream, it was a really loud bagpipe, and we all kind of thought about it for a minute before going, oh, it's probably Kevin. This isn't surreal. This is high school. And college. We can't see the slides. Student breaks bone. I think I need to go to the hospital. School nurse. Injured? Go screw yourself, you injured piece of shit. This girl has college figured out. Same. Casually. Could we please start drawing new age appliances? My daughter has never seen such a TV. She thought it was a microwave. So they clothed school tomorrow. They shirt it down. That sucks. I can almost hear the apathy in his voice. Where's the candle? Oh no, I lit my homework on fire. In first period, a girl got dress coded for wearing a tank top with a jacket over it, and this scrawny little boy stood up and yelled,
Oh my god, she has skin. The skin is too much for me. Her shoulders are beautiful. This is too much.
And the teacher got so annoyed with him that that she didn't get to dress coding her. Yes, good. You go, boy. One time my teacher gave me an F on a paper and wrote, "See me after school," on it. And I was stressing all day about it, but when I went later to ask her what was wrong with it, she changed the F to an A and said, "You are annoying me this week. I wanted you to suffer for a few hours." And I didn't trust her for the rest of the year. Me. Pulls an all-nighter to finish my assignment. Teacher, okay, since a number of you haven't finished... No, don't do it. I'll extend the deadline to next week. Oh my god. Still the best graduation cap ever. Game of loans. Interest is coming. When you somehow finish school and move to college. Fortunately, the bad days are over. Now, it's time for even worse days. Freshmen be showing up to school on the first day. Like, I get so excited when I can't remember the name of someone I knew in high school. It's like I'm one step closer to being fully cleansed. Can't believe I went to college for 4 years to basically just become a professional emailer. Just got accepted into college. God is good. Mental Health Institute. College professor just said, "You're probably too young to even remember this," and brought up something that happened in 2011. Better than my professor that said, "We'd probably recognize this from Saturday morning cartoons," then showed us a cartoon from 1935. New Immortal versus Old Immortal. I hate game night with the engineering graduates. Don't get me started on poker night with the math students. Monopoly with business majors is the worst. Scrabble with English majors is a nightmare, but no matter who you're with, Cards Against Humanity is always great. Until the psychology majors get a hold of you. I went to my first physics lecture this quarter, and the professor literally told us, "I wrote the textbook for this course, but I'm going to pirate it for you guys because I hate my publishers." A true people's hero. You owe me, like, $1. You'll have to kill me for it, college students. Going back to school, like, books. Me, looking at the F my kid got for the math homework I solved. This kid said I'm not Vine cultured, and I said bet. So today he came to class with a full-length AP style Vine exam. Screw algebra. I don't need it. Just give me a dead body and I'll figure it out from there. I feel I should clarify I am a mortuary science major. The difference between freshmen and seniors. High school teachers. Instructors in college are much stricter and meaner and won't put up with childish behavior. Don't say I didn't warn you. College professors. Okay everyone, let's go around the room and yell out your favorite cuss word when it's your turn. This is how my week goes. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. If you start your work now, you'll have plenty of time and you won't be stressing out at the last minute. Student uses gender switch filter to look cop, looking for underage, the deed. Students in school. Students if school taught useful stuff. Students if school was taught in an interesting and accessible way. That moment when you realize you're not a student, but unemployed. I will never recover from this student emo. Good afternoon, professor. I hope you had a great break. I was wondering if it would be acceptable to use sources from the late 1900s for our final paper. I found an interesting paper from 1994. Is there a cutoff date of publication? See you tomorrow. Geometry. The process. Geometry. Geomicry. Geomy. Geomy. Me. What are taxes and how do I pay them? School system. Worry not. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. My friend is a 3rd grade teacher. He made a student write an apology letter to another student. "I'm sorry for calling you fat. I'm sorry for yelling at you. You should be sorry for kicking me in the back of my boots. You also should be sorry for saying I was playing. I really need an apology from you. I want it by Thursday. Got it? If you got it, this will not be a problem. You want to do this the easy way or the hard way? I think that you should go with easy, your friend." World's most cynical art student makes wedding dress out of divorce papers. That title is a feat in itself. Student fraternities in the US versus in Austria. Which way? Student council in real life. Student council in anime. Student. How many years have you been teaching? 8. 8 what? Apples? Bananas? Teacher. He matches his drink and shirt every day. My Italian foreign student roommate does this to avoid cutting pepperoni. Is this what they do in Italy? Today's 5th grade unnecessary morning conversation. Student A. When I die and go to heaven, I hope I get my wings the first day. Student B. What kind you getting? I hope they got lemon pepper. High school student sparks chaos by testing teachers' engagement rings to see if they're real. 1973. A student and a teacher guarding a high school after someone called in a shooting threat during a morning class. Juniors, seniors, and teachers went to their cars and trucks to grab their guns and guard the doors between classes. No shooter ever arrived. Teacher. Please make a small presentation on your plans for summer vacation. Me. Hey, can I do something to help my grade? It's May. Oh, sorry. May I do something to help my grade? Y'all pray for me. Nothing's wrong, I'm just in college. Bangkok University makes students wear anti-cheating helmet during midterm exams. Frogs exist. Biology students in high school. Screw this. Just kidding, I need to pass. How to capture a college student. Cancel the funeral, because I decided to live. Dying is not an option. When my university work starts to make a bit of sense. How good are you at mathematics? Me. 18 minus 9. I was in art class today. A girl was crying and her friend was comforting her, but she kind of just stopped and was like, I'm sorry about what happened, but where did you get your eyeliner? It seems to be really good. Like, it didn't smudge or anything. Then the girl that was crying sniffled and said, it's Sharpie. 9-year-old child genius to graduate university with electrical engineering degree. Teacher, did you do all your homework? Student, did you grade my test? I have other students' tests to grade. I have other teachers' homework to do. Cool design for a student room with some privacy. When you don't want your student to feel bad. When you're an engineering student and a Formula 1 fan. Trying to avoid plagiarism as a student. Like, what, not butter? Mike Guy. I don't have a favorite student. Mike Guy's room. Damn, guten Tag. Germany has officially abolished college tuition fees, even for international students. There's two types of people during the holidays. When little children come sing Christmas carols in the library during finals week, these guys came in here singing and stuff, like I ain't got a test to prepare to fail. A school in Iowa allows students to receive physical education credits by helping do yard work for senior citizens and people with disabilities. An international student who works as a clerk at Circle K is facing 14 years in prison on assault charges for defending himself against a homeless fentanyl addict who tried to rob him. Bruh. High school sucks, man. One time these kids shoved me into a submarine and welded it shut, and then lowered me into an ocean of blood, and it was this whole thing. Didn't that happen to the Beatles? Yeah, the Beatles were there. That's why it sucked. Men should take advantage of lack of dress code rules set for guys and wear miniskirts and tank tops to school every day. Last year the dudes on my class have done it, and they all got called into the principal's office, but they didn't get in trouble because they said, but those rules are only for girls. I'm not even joking. Remember back in when people would say, oh, so you called me a B word? Well, that's a dog. Dogs bark. Bark is on a tree. A tree is nature, and nature is beautiful. So thanks for the compliment. The fact that middle school is censored is adding an indescribable aura to this post. Well, what I remember at school is people would say, I know you are, but what am I? And they would say that, so it's like, oh, you're annoying. I know you are, but what am I? No, I know you. School desks, the first day of school versus the last day. First day of college and media. Please open up your textbooks to chapter 3 because I expect you to have already read the first 2 chapters in preparation. Wow, this is literally what it was like for me in business in 6th form. Like this exact read these chapters. First day of college. We're going to spend the next hour slowly and thoroughly going over every page of the syllabus because I strongly suspect at least half of you douchebags don't actually know how to read. And that also happened. Well, we seem to have finished ahead of schedule. It's the first day. Everyone get out of here. Michelangelo was only 23 years old when he completed the Pieta. The fact that he was a turtle makes this 10 times more fascinating. When your teacher almost catches you cheating, so you hit him with the, thinking. Well, this would have worked, but I was on a laptop and I did get caught cheating. I got a 0, but I did think, I don't know if I wasn't actually cheating. I was watching a YouTube video, but you know how you can swipe between tabs on your computer? And I got caught, and they said I was cheating, and I still denied it. I was still denied to this day. F you. You'll never catch me, even though you did catch me, but it wasn't fully caught because you never got evidence. So you basically had no evidence. When the teacher touches you. I have a story about this. Basically, geography, yeah, fuck this guy anyway. He always used to lean over and try and help you, but too much. So he would lean over, let's say you're sitting down, he'd basically lean on your shoulders. One time I tried to climb over the desk because I thought it was funny and weird. And yeah, that's how bad it was. He was a fucking creep. I'm not scarred though. I think I was like 14 or 15 at the time. But yeah, it was weird. Man shows eclipse to his fish. Imagine being ripped out of your comfortable life by a higher being and getting exposed to the glory of the cosmos and then immediately getting put back. Chris, could you come solve this problem? Oh, we got a problem? That's right. Students, all I did was try my best. Cool. Try more. Try more. Teacher, the male reproductive organ is called a pee-pee. Class of 7th graders. When I'm in a getting pregnant competition and my opponent is a female English teacher. Students, not doing homework, becoming a millionaire, becoming a drug dealer. Chemistry teacher, when student is playing with nuclear weapons but wearing his goggles. Hating school, not knowing what to do during time off. off. Every student. Teachers. Students who pack up 10 seconds early. Give 10 times more homework than usual. Let the students have some rest. Teachers. Teacher. That's one big cockroach. Students named Roach. I'm gonna name my kid Roach. Teacher. Treat student like poop. Student. Doesn't respect teacher. Teacher. What? You do not respect me? Student. How many years have you been teaching? Teacher. 8. 8 what? Apples? Bananas? Teacher. How dare you use my own spells against me, Potter. The student and the teacher's reaction. Just graduated. Genius way to collect money. Students charged $1 for a piece of duct tape to free the principal. The class 90% of the time. The class when the teacher is sharing a personal story instead of teaching. When you send the wrong homework folder to the teacher. Teacher says you have good taste. Wait, what files do you have? Teacher uses Zoom. Teacher uses Google Meets. Teacher uses Discord. Teacher uses Twitch. When the teacher leaves the cursor on the play bar so it can't disappear, move the mouse. Genuine interest in a subject. Bad teacher. The teacher when you're a D student and the first one to finish the exam. Teacher. Your essay should be 5 to 10 pages long. Student. Writes 5 pages. Teacher. That's why you always go in the middle. Drunk teacher sacked after taking pupils to club during school trip. The students to the replacement teacher. How dare you stand where he stood. Teacher unity is strength. Teacher when students help each other in exam. If you don't want to pay attention, I will honestly end this class right now. The students. You will? The foreign exchange student saying, frick you to my teacher. Teacher. Me, who told him it means thank you. The party the students were all hyped for. The party. The underpaid teachers who bought everything with their own money. Arming teachers with guns to protect students. Arming students with guns to protect themselves. Arming guns with guns to protect guns. Teacher. Why do both of you have the same answer? Because we had the same questions? My friend. Me. Students and teachers both hating school. Teachers when students don't want to learn 6 hours a day. 5 times a week about useless information. Greedy teachers and a student that's hardworking and not miserable. What teachers see and what students see. Student. The teacher that put the meme in the PowerPoint to make everyone happy. What the hell? That's so cringe. Students who bully everyone else. Teachers. The one kid who fought back. Teachers and a crying student. Go and wash your face. Normal heartbeat. Deceased heartbeat. When the online class teacher starts randomly selecting students to answer questions. Students asking if they could use the bathroom. The teacher. Denied. When you win a fight in school and the teacher gives you a 1-week holiday. Teacher, could we live on Mars? Me, a 12-year-old science student. Yes. Music teacher. Are you the little guy who keyed my car? Student. Why are you so mad? The damage appears to be minor. Music teacher. Public school teachers in movies. I will do everything to make sure this student succeeds. Public school teachers in real life. I'm mad at the way my life turned out, so I'm gonna take it out on the students. Teacher. Everyone pay attention or I'll beat you up. Everyone. Kid named attention. Chinese exchange student named you. The teacher yelling at me because I don't answer in class. Me, just being an introvert. The student that knows the material and just ask for help to talk to the teacher. Me, who knows nothing and actually needs help. Me, subscribing to my favorite OF creator. My high school teacher on hard times. School bans Valentine's Day after 6-year-old tells teacher he would plow her into next week. The teacher, the parent, the whole class. If one teacher can't teach all subjects, why is one child expected to study all subjects? Elementary school teachers. I don't have such weaknesses. The actual author. Teachers. Hundreds of hidden meanings to a poem. Younger me being mean to teachers. Older me realizing teachers hate their jobs because kids are a-holes. Me. I really want to try hard and get good grades this term. Teacher. Please read pages 45 to 51. Me. Nah. How teacher-student interactions are portrayed in the media. Homework over the weekend. No. How my teachers interact with me. If you need help on the homework, I'm here. Thank you. How taking tests during online school is like. Students. Teacher saying, do not open any tabs other than the test. Student. Hey teacher, aren't you going to give us our homework assignment? Teacher. Thank you for reminding me. The rest of the class. Teacher. You will learn this in college. Professor. You learned this in school. Me. Teacher. Can you tell me 2 pronouns? Who? Me? Correct. Very good. The class when the student teacher asks why they didn't have any questions. You wouldn't get it. The substitute teacher trying to pronounce student's name correct. They would always give the wrong names though. How memes describe substitute teachers. Substitute teachers at my school. Really depends, doesn't it? When you purposely failed in a subject so that your hot teacher will call you in her cabin for extra class. My goals are beyond your understanding. Teachers when they ask every student the exact same question. I sleep. Teachers, when two students give the same answers to these questions. Real, awful teachers. Schools, school administrators, students. Teacher announces a surprise test. Students stressed about the test. That one guy walking in with a fire alarm. Teacher in 2030. Any of you kids know about biology? Student raises hand. Put your hand down, Timmy. You don't even know your Damn. Students watching the math teacher explain a method to solve a problem in seconds after they went through hell during the exam. Class in 2100. Now that we learned 2019, let's learn 2021. What about 2020? No, students be like, class was so hard today. You did your homework, right? Right. The algebra teacher explaining a hard problem. The student who thinks they're smarter than the teacher. The student's actually trying to pass the class. Me typing the word bubbies on the calculator. Teacher, did you do the homework? Did you correct our test? I have to correct other students' tests too. I have to do other teachers' homework too. Teacher tells a joke. One student who needs a better grade. When two of the top students of the class get different answers, but then the teacher says that they are both right. The janitor, the principal, teachers and students. People who poop in the urinal. When your teacher almost catches you cheating, so you hit him with the, I'm just thinking. I got caught cheating once. I wasn't cheating, I was watching YouTube. Still got a 0. Oh well. Teachers selecting which bad website to make their students sign up on and only use twice. Teachers who give optional homework and the students praying to the teacher. Teachers over 40. Students fixing a simple issue on a computer. Your younger self tracing lines, coloring and answering 1+1. Preschool teachers. This is great, you're doing amazing. Enjoying books. Teachers forcing them to overanalyze books. Haircuts according to our teachers. Good students, bad students. Principal's chair, teacher's chair, student's chair. Teacher, don't use Wikipedia as a source on your project. Every student. Fact is fact. Teacher praising me for being the most disciplined student in the class. Me, who suffers from crippling social anxiety and has no friend. No, you can get friends. Teacher gets kicked out of Zoom. Students, anarchy. Me and my teacher. I would like to honor you the highest honor I can bestow. Good question. Can I go to the washroom? It's May. No, it's December. The teacher. The student, the class. Me, who thought it was still March. Student, I don't understand. Teacher, well, you are stupid. Indian man on YouTube, I will teach you, my son. Later that night. Teacher, I don't understand. Indian man on YouTube, I will teach you, my son. What comments would you make about room 404? Room not found. Study for the test. Pretend to be sick so you don't have to take a test. Steal the identity of another student in class with no test. Switch schools the day before the test. Go back in time to stop the teacher giving the test to be born. Teacher, calls on student who isn't paying attention. Student still gets answer right. The teacher. What I studied and what came up on the exam. Have a proper plan and finish on time. Start the day before and just finish in time. Students, they're the same picture. Teacher who asked, what is the unit of power? Me who said, what? Because I didn't hear the question. Me using ChatGPT to cheat on my homework. ChatGPT who wrote the question. My teacher. Let me get this straight. You think maths is easy with the right teachers? I do, and I'm tired of pretending it's not. The PE teacher after joining the losing side in a friendly game of dodgeball. My English professor walked into class, saw algebra on the board and yelled, oh, what the hell is this? Get me an eraser before I pass out. Here's the Messiah. That one awesome teacher, extra 2 minutes. Students taking a test. When the teacher asks questions to the entire class, and when the teacher asks questions to random students. My reaction when the teacher makes me stand outside the classroom. The class. Teacher leaving donuts for behaved students. Teacher in 2030 taking attendance. Teacher, did I forget anyone? Yeah, you forgot about Joe. Teacher. Student talks back to the teacher in the classroom. Teacher, is that like a personal attack or something? The student and the teacher. Wow, this is smart. I should have tried this. Professional video game speedrunners. Students who can complete a 3-page homework fast while the teacher is collecting. Alternate method of solving. Math teachers. Cast it into the fire. Destroy it. Smart rebel students. No, students. All the useful stuff school teaches you. It doesn't teach me how to pay taxes. Author writes a book with no hidden meaning. Literature teachers. Students. Analysis. School is on fire. What students are expected to do. What teachers expect students to do. The teacher's copy and what the students get. Student who speaks more fluently than him by learning it from video games. English teacher. Teacher. No one will eat anything in my class. Students in the back. Good students. Bad students. Students who convince the teacher to tell a personal story to waste time. Student forgets homework. Teacher punishes the whole class. The teacher. There's more water than land. No, that's not true. How so? There's more land under the water. My stepbrother is a teacher. teacher, and to shut up his students, he gave them a Where's Wally, but he photoshopped Wally out. One kid asked to stay behind at break so he could find it. Poor child. One of you got a 25 on the test. Students, laugh. That was the highest score. That one kid with the highest score. I put a balloon in my hoodie. The teacher counted it as a student. She gave him classwork to do. What is wrong with this school? Hey, they accept anyone. New teacher arguing with a student. Her finding out this student is the principal's son. Who cares? You can still argue with them. Teacher missed her students, so she knitted 23 adorable dolls to represent each of them. The class misbehaved student. I'm in danger. She's gonna make a voodoo doll. Friend. The teacher said one student single-handedly brought down the class average. Do you know who it was? Me. Well, of course I know him. He's me. Can anyone give me an example of things that are useless? Raise his hand. Very good. Any other examples? Me. Enters into a wrong class. Teacher and students. Everyone would be looking so confused. Teacher in normal class. Students. Teacher, please. I'm just 1 mark away from passing in the exam. Can't you let this slide? Teacher. No. Teacher's in online class. Guys, please. I asked a question. Someone please respond. No. When the teacher says there's no homework. When your attractive teacher is helping a student on the other side and you're wondering if it's what? No, I've never thought of this. You guys are some freaks making these memes. Students complaining about the lack of doing the deed ed in school. The teacher who just... We had a teacher like this, sadly. Freak. I think he's in jail for like 7 years. When the teacher leaves the cursor here. I do this every time I show a video in class to mildly infuriate my students. Teachers trying to do memes for his slides presentation. Students who do high effort memes but still appreciate teachers' effort. Teachers. Just because students aren't physically going to school doesn't mean you can assign 5 times the normal amount of homework. Yeah, let's burn that. Government thanking teachers for teaching students online. Sports teachers. Yeah, what were sports teachers doing? Dumb students need your help too. Teachers. Schools reopen. The students and the teachers. Students taking school tests or literally anything else. Well, we had a school test every Monday. It was called cycle tests. In 8th grade, we thought it would be funny to scare our algebra teacher. So when she was writing on the board, we all put on Dora masks, and when she turned around, she screamed. All of the spawns of Satan. Teacher in 2030. Hey, you didn't hand in your video presentation. Student. I have it. I just uploaded it on YouTube, so I'll send you the link to it. Okay, I received it. The teacher before he clicks on the link. Female teachers now. Female teachers when I went to school. Nah, there were some hot teachers. I'm not gonna lie. All students have 3 moods. Hey. Me sends the assignment at 11:58 p.m. Teacher, thank you for submitting your assignment at 12 a.m. Me, you shouldn't be here. The teacher, neither should you. Skipping school in 2019 and 2020. Did you guys enjoy online school? I did. Female teacher, struggle snuggles a male students of what? That one guy hearing about it. It should have been me. Teacher, who knows the answer to this? Raise your hands. Also them. Ignores those who raised their hands and chose the one avoiding eye contact. In primary school, we had a creative writing assignment where we had to write about a character in a new strange situation. And I wrote about a squid that was somehow teleported from the ocean to the forest floor and slowly choked to death for 2 pages, and I'll never quite forget my teacher's face because it turns out she wanted. This new school is scary. I hope I make friends and not a graphic description of a squid crying. This dude, the teacher. Why does our teacher keep asking me out on a date? Please take the hint. Date? I don't like you like that. Sorry. No. I'm 17. Date, please. Teachers when a student is vaping in class. Teachers when a student packs up 10 seconds before class ends. School. You should reach out to teachers if you're bullied. Bullied student. I was bullied. Teachers. That's cute. You're thinking I care. Students. Why is there a 2009 meme in the presentation? It's not even funny. The teacher who just wanted to make the students smile. They gotta start hiring me. I will find memes for any teacher. Today, one of my 4th grade students renamed himself Reconnecting on our Zoom call and pretended he was having internet issues to avoid participating in our lesson. Teachers in offline classes. Get out of the class if you don't want to study. Teachers in online classes. Students, please join. I wonder how many teachers are watching this video. If you're a teacher, please just comment. School teachers when they see a student is struggling. Well, as you know, we're not the US Marines. We can leave a man behind. Me in class. In class, like, got 40 minutes left. That's 2 20-minute halves. Just gotta get through 10 minutes 4 times. Teacher. Wow, the virus hasn't stopped you guys from graduating. Students who only graduated because of the virus. Millennial teacher starter pack. Gives candy to students from time to time. Some kind of bitmoji to be closer to the student. Not sure about the bottom left one, but I don't even know how that's relevant. Teacher who's been doing work over lockdown. Students. I have 2 brain cells left and it's these guys. It's teachers when a student corrects them in the classroom. Yeah, this was with me and my friend. It was our first day back at school after quarantine. Literally the first day, we didn't know where class was and they thought we were trying to obviously bunk class. So she screamed at us and then we were like, oh, trying to argue because we genuinely didn't know. And she kept screaming and said,
Don't you talk back to me.
shut up. We had no clue. Teacher. On first place, we got Joe. Asks student. Who's Joe? That one student. You will be immediately killed by this action. Proceed. Students talking. Substitute teacher. Don't talk. Or what? I have a belt and I'm not afraid to hurt myself. Student confidently submits worst essay professor has ever graded. Student, you have no idea how high that bar is. A student in bed will remain in bed unless acted upon by a large enough panic. Newton's lesser known fourth law of motion. How I feel when I skip class. I should have gone to class. How I feel when I go to class. I should have stayed home. Exam. A student concludes that 1 + 1 = 2. Me. Alright, that makes sense. Exam. Explain why the student is incorrect. Me. Teacher. Chris, could you come solve this problem? Oh, we got a problem? That's right. Not a but don't fight! Excellent student, with a teacher arguing who is right. Everyone else in the classroom. That one dude who asked the question that started the argument. Teacher, could we live on Mars? Me, a 12 years old science student. Just use a tree, bro. When you and another student see each other on the same Google document at 2 a.m. Student, can you teach us how to do our taxes and apply for a loan? School, shut up and play your recorder. Teacher, can you count backwards from 100 for me? 6-year-old me. Duh. 100, 59, 50. That is incorrect. Who taught you that? My microwave. Gonna get this degree. Probably every student right now. Finding motivation to finish the semester. My teacher nailed his student's phone to the wall for using it in class 20 years ago. It's still there to this day. When I find someone's student ID on the ground and use it to print solid black pages front and back in the computer lab. Name something you would wait in this line for. Student loan forgiveness. Every student after one semester. This creature has adapted to the crushing pressure and oppressive darkness. Student, how many years have you been teaching? Teacher, 8. 8 what? Apples? Bananas? Teacher, I went from an AB student to a as long as I pass student. Same. Happy Teacher's Day, ma'am. Who are you? I'm your old student. Right, teacher 10 times. The student. When someone says, wow, you're up early, but you actually just didn't sleep at all. Me, watching an interesting YouTube video. Assignment deadline. Exactly what the end of the semester feels like. Why is this so true? History in school. History as a hobby. Student gets bullied at school. Teachers. Student pulls up an extra chair at lunch. Teachers. Me. That test was so hard. Friend. Yeah, especially the backside. Me. The what? Professor. You can't write an essay overnight. Exam. You have 1 hour to write this essay. Woman. Son, if you don't work hard and study, you will end up like that McDonald's worker. The McDonald's worker, who was actually a student working to fend himself and pay off the school fees. I just took a math final with this poster on the wall of the exam room. It has formulas on it that were needed in the exam. This poster got me an extra 10% on the paper. Teacher, who put the poster up to help the students. A person at my university took this photo. The Walking Dead. Teacher. No eating in class. People in the front of the class versus people in the back. Dad, how was the exam? Me. Also me before the result. The world's strongest coffee, aka Death Wish coffee, contains 200% more caffeine than the average cup of coffee. It is not recommended for people who do not want to sleep at some point in the next 3 days. Students. I woke up at 5 a.m. for 30 days. Students. First time. What do you think about students' mental health? What mental health? That's right, you're hired. Schools. My lecturer wears a mask to hide his expression so students wouldn't get nervous when he's giving marks. Girl. I only date 6 feet guys. Chernobyl transfer student. Schools. We provide excellent nutrition for our students. School lunches. There are guys in my dorm who decided to play cards in the elevator. See, what intrigues me about college isn't the intellectual pursuit or the bonding or whatever. It's the fact that people have the freedom to do random stuff like this. Student arrested after trying to smuggle 20 gigabytes of memes into Sweden. Claimed that they were only for personal use. What was the big incident at your high school? A student did the deed on a croissant in a cooking class and let the teacher eat it. People when they talk about student debt. Would it be fair to the people the trolley has already killed to divert it now? Drunk college student smashes through the walls of a spa and eats all their Hot Pockets. I have so many questions. What kind of spa has Hot Pockets? Why are their walls so thin? Where can I find one of these spas with Hot Pockets? How did he know they had them? How did he know which wall to break to to get to where they were kept. Teacher, tell me a sentence that starts with a I. I is the... Stop! Never put is after I. Always put am after I. Okay, I am the 9th letter of the alphabet. The teacher. Mum arrested after showing up to daughter's school in boxing gloves to beat up student's bully. I'm not gonna say she was right or wrong. All I'm gonna say is I understand. All set for my meeting with the student that missed more than 30 classes this semester and emailed me to set up an appointment to talk about his grade. You don't deserve to pass. Change my mind. School is on fire. What students expect to do. What teachers expect students to do. Smart students. Dumb students. Finishing the exam early. Students in school. Students, if school taught useful stuff. Counselor. So what happened? Blind student. People keep making fun of my blindness. Oh, I see. The blind student. Student returning from suspension after stealing school property. Teacher. Welcome back. Please take a seat. Student. Very poor choice of words. Student wearing a hoodie. The teacher's ability to teach. Teacher. Why are you late? Student. My dad is in hospital. 7 days later. Teacher. Is your dad still in hospital? Yes, he is a doctor. Teacher. Toilet paper in the teacher's bathrooms versus toilet paper in the students' bathrooms. The food they serve students on campus tours. The food they serve to their actual student population. Teachers in normal class. Students. Teacher. Please, I'm just 1 mark away from passing the exam. Can't you just let this slide? Teachers. No. Teachers in online class. Guys, please, I just asked a question. Someone please respond. Students. No. Teacher. There's more water than land. Student. No, that's not true. How so? There's more land under the water. A great student. Lessons in balance. You think he disrupts the class? Student council in enemy. The government. I'm not paying back my student loans. They need to learn financial responsibility. Lending 20k to an 18-year-old. Wearing Carhartt gear is wild. Are you a student? A hipster? A licensed forklift operator? No one knows. When the culinary student needs to submit their work to the online Dropbox at midnight, the professor grading the assignment. You are a student who can stop time. You have stopped time during an exam to cheat. When you see something in the corner of your iMove, someone with the same kind of stand? Impossible. I, Dio, shall be the only one cheating in this classroom. If someone dies during an exam, all the other students present pass. Some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make. Teacher, make a sentence with the word harassment. Student, I was in love with a girl and harassment a lot to me. When you saw another school during your school trips, study hard, human, so you can buy me lots of tuna. That point in the semester, me. Attending lessons, taking notes, studying. Please God, teacher, you have 5 minutes to copy everything from the whiteboard. 21st century students. Takes a photo. Things I do when I need to study. Study. Tell everyone that I have to study. When all you want to do is sleep, but attendance counts for 15% of your final grade. Me, finally relaxing. My next semester. The world. When you pass a test. When you fail a test. I just want to graduate already. John, 26 years old. University is not stressful at all. School memes. Math in class. Students. Me, almost failing in the last year of high school because I can't keep up with all the homework. I'm not as strong as you. Me, in elementary school. By far the most intelligent student there was. No, you're stronger. Short answer. Provide an example of a risk. No, the student. As you see, my Jedi powers are far beyond yours. PhD student, 2020. Here's a limited argument I made on years of specialized research. Hope it's okay. Philosopher dude, 1770. Here are some thoughts I had in the bath. They constitute universal and self-evident laws of nature. Fight me. When you're a lonely college student, this ramen is my girlfriend. The other students who asked the same question on a math forum years ago. Me, looking up math homework answers. Schools, smart students. Students that need help. Students that get bullied. Students on their way to study for the exam they have in the morning. Let's schedule all exams in 1 week. Business student. Medical student. Engineering student. Teacher. Calls on student who isn't paying attention. Student. Still gets answer right. Teacher. Wait, what? Hi bro, do you know Newton's second law? I'm a science student bro, not a law student. Teacher. Never mind guys, it's not due today. You can bring it tomorrow. Me. Oh. Literally everyone wants the foreign exchange student pulls up. Say a swear word. Teacher. What is hotter than the sun? Your daughter. Netflix characters. I'm just an average 16-year-old high school student. Everyone. Student loans will open so many doors for you. The door. Student. We finally finished all of our assignments. Teacher. I think the hell not. Go stupid. Go smart. He is now in crippling debt due to student loans. 9-year-old Brother, my teacher remembers you. What did she say? You're still her worst student. I'm still worthy. Teacher, you are the only student who got a D for this test. Everyone laughs. Teacher, others got F. This train station that stayed open for a single schoolgirl finally closes down. Careful, it's a hero. A sad day for students all over the world. Truck carrying ramen noodles crashes. Estimated loss to company, $38. Girls' bathrooms versus boys' bathrooms. The Deed Club. Teacher, if you don't want to pay attention, I will honestly end the class right now. The students. Eating raw cookie dough is the best option for college students. 1. No cooking time. 2. Tastes better than regular cookies. 3. You may die. Teachers of Reddit, what are the dumbest excuses you received from students for missing the class or homework? Not a teacher and not of Reddit, and not technically an excuse and not really a student, but this one time I made a really nice batch of pancakes. Students who don't know more examples, etc. And your first wishes? Triple world hunger. Your second? Double student debt. Smart student checking my answer to make sure it is correct or not. Me. Smart student. Students union leaving free female hygiene products in the women's bathroom. Men's bathroom, which hasn't had working hot water for 2.5 years. A week in jail to cancel your student loans. Me. Student has 69 broken bones and 420 scratches. I haven't started either. Are the most comforting words for a student. Student who collected garbage to pay for college admitted to Harvard Law. Today's 5th grade unnecessary morning conversation. Student A. When I die and go to heaven, I hope I get my wings the first day. Student B. What kind are you getting? I hope they have got lemon pepper. Professor. Are emo kids still a thing? Student. Yeah, but it's just everyone now. Here we see the engineering student in the wild, always on edge. Panicked screeching. Assert dominance in group projects by calling your classmates by their student ID numbers. Dear student, you took the elevator to the wrong floor to avoid taking the stairs and win some time. Now you're looking at this sign and searching for the stairs, losing precious time. The irony of the situation is slowly starting to sink in. What is happening? When a student from another country arrives at your school, trade offer. I receive swear words in your language. You receive swear words in English. Imagine if parent/teacher conferences existed in college. Dad, how's my son doing? Professor, I have never seen this man in my life. Student asked me today, do I have to wear my mask while taking a poop? I said it couldn't exactly be enforced. He responded by looking me dead in the eye, ripping off his mask, and grunting with the effort to poop in his pants. I teach 9th grade. What the hell is this? Yep, this is big brain time. Opening the exam paper, like, lost, confused, unsure, unclear, perplexed, disorientated, bewildered. I didn't think there was a quote that so accurately described how I feel about my assignments. Sometimes I'll start a sentence, and I don't know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way. 3 assignments due. Test in 2 days. Life falling apart. Me. This is how it feels to be a uni student in November. Why are you so quiet? What's on your mind? I need to study. I have no idea what I'm doing. When you're assigned a partner project, me, a student, if only we had more time. My gaming friend who just got a full-time job. You have all the time in the world. Me, panicking over exams, and then panicking over the lack of time, and then panicking because I'm panicking. Teacher, if you're stuck on a problem, ask your partner. Me and my partner. I am going to study from the first day so that everything does not accumulate. Are you okay? The long answer would be reading all of that. The short answer would be no. Student drug dealers spared jail as judge says he was impressed by the grammar in their text messages. If you start your work now, you will have plenty of time and you won't be stressing out at the last minute. Me? Nah. Me, after proofreading my work. What the hell am I talking about? Keep studying. You can cry after you get this degree. After school naps aren't even naps. They're mini comas. University is just, it's you, your laptop, and your water bottle against the world. Me, after avoiding uni work. The consequences of my procrastination. Me, the no work or school tomorrow sleep be hitting different. Computer, autosaves file. Me, oh thanks, where is it? Computer, I don't know man. My last 3 brain cells trying to finish the school year. This is me after 5 minutes of studying. I've had a very long, hard day. When you're writing an essay and trying to hit that 500 word count. Very young, small, early peas. My brother is a physics professor and just sent me an assignment turned in by a real-life college student. Alright, I'ma head out. I just spent 5 minutes driving directly behind a student driver with no intentions of pulling her over. Welcome to the streets of adulthood, kid. Good students, bad students. Students who convinced the teacher to tell a personal story to waste class time. Yeah, that was this geography teacher who we would always do it with him, always. He was a bit weird though. Today I learned Liam Neeson was once a school teacher, but got fired because a student pulled a knife on him and Neeson punched him. That's what happens when you bring a knife to a Liam Neeson fight. Kid should have brought a double-bladed lightsaber. I love student housing. I'm in the common room waiting for a friend and there's some dude crying on the couch with a bunch of his friends around him. And I can only hear bits and pieces, but someone asked him, "Who gets the Minecraft server if you guys break up?" And he started crying harder and a third person reached over to smack the guy who asked it on the back of the head. My teacher looking for the project I never did. Me acting confused on where it went. Happened to me. Teacher collected everyone's work except me. And then the next lesson when she hands out the marked work, I asked her where mine was. The teacher trusted me completely and the student sitting next to me, I'd never even spoken to, said, "Yeah, I remember her handing it in." Virtual teachers of Reddit due to the virus. Was it shocking to see how some of your kids actually live? And if so, what was the most extreme story? The student wasn't allowed to talk in the morning, so she had to whisper if she had a question about something. It warms my heart to know that there's a teacher on Reddit that goes by the username Piano Smasher. Student Problems Starter Pack. That alarm reminds me I'm getting PTSD. My only 2 moods since starting university. How good are you in mathematics? Me. Rickrolled my students with a fake accidental quiz answer keying. Got rickrolled by a student in their final video assignment. When the teacher doesn't let you sleep in class, so you sleep with her daughter instead. Being a college student in April is the least funny time of the year. I can't even smile thinking about the amount of exams, essays, and projects due. How is this legal? I can't like this enough. Preach. Well, the I stands for an imaginary number. Okay, hold on. There are imaginary numbers now. Are there unicorns in the next lesson? Can someone please teach me something useful, like how to balance a checkbook? I once signed up to participate in a study on how depression affects memory. Forgot I was meant to go do it, and when I emailed to apologize to the PhD student running it, she basically told me that A, she was very used to this happening, and B, the weird irony of her theory's correctness, making it very difficult to arrange proving them, had by now gone from infuriating to hysterical. I learned today that a group of students used a Google document to take lecture notes. They all took notes simultaneously in a collective file. As they took notes, they would mark places they were confused or couldn't follow the lecture. Other students would see and explain real time. At the end of the semester, as they were prepping for finals, they have this massive document of notes, questions, and explanations from peers. Just finished a mandatory 900 student backpack search. It was hard work, but in the end we made the school environment safer for everyone. Wait, does this happen in America daily? I'm so confused. Students are taking their physics midterm exam today. I said no cell phones, not even for music, since they could be used to cheat. The student brought in a record player and is bumping Kanye in his headphones right now. That's not Kanye. That's revision notes. It's just a lie. You've been bamboozled. Students have been working on estimating in 2nd grade. So for the Christmas party, we had an estimation jar. This student was the only one who guessed the exact number. And when he came up for his winnings, his reaction was priceless. Tears of joy. Can we talk about the experiment who just made sandwiches throughout the entire series on Lilo and Stitch? Look at him. Friendly reminder that Rube had the same powers and strength as Stitch, but had a higher intelligence, resulting in him being able to speak perfectly. But instead of being obsessed with destroying cities, only cared about making sandwiches. So he was basically a college student. My grade is 97% for doing the flashcards, so even if I get a 0 on the test, I have above 95. Current mood. I don't want a degree anymore. I want a nap. My teacher came to school in pajamas to protest finals being held at 7 in the morning. This guy at my school got attacked. This sign has been up for so long. My school took away the soap dispensers because of internet vandalism challenges. Please design the school uniform. Tumblr University. The local high school seniors painted their parking spots. This was one of them. These kids are going to starve. For every match you make, we will donate a school meal. She was about to put a bandage on it. Yeah, have you ever met a school nurse? Dude got the car I used to draw in elementary school. Toby Maguire looks like an 8th grader on school picture day here. They definitely need a better name for the school. We cook, elementary teachers, and staff. I started high school 7 years ago. You done yet? I'm trapped in one of the lockers. Throwback to when my mum had made this cake for me to celebrate surviving 15 days of high school. Why the teacher just emailed my aunt a picture of my little cousin acting up in school. Some kid at my school just asked if I had a father. Answer the question. Maskless man arrested as fireworks erupt at school board meeting. Driver tells kids to go F themselves, then abandons school bus at gas station. This gum was currency in middle school. The future of IT is in good hands. Today, one of my 4th grade students renamed himself Reconnecting. On our Zoom cool and pretended that he was having internet issues to avoid participating in our class. Who the hell brings a bag of chopped red onions to school just to throw them in the toilet? I hate my school. Me at school. I'm so over this school with all these fake people. Oh hey, hi. Fucking. From 6th to 12th grade, I wore the same shirt in every school photo. My parents weren't fans. I thought it was pretty hilarious. Losing my mind over my great-grandmother's Catholic school yearbook, I present to you my 8-year-old brother doing online school. Spider-Man, homeschooled, going to school after pulling an all-nighter. This could work in both ways. This is the road my dad had to walk to get to school. This is the best pen ever. Let's argue. The ice pack the school nurse gave me. The 173 bones I broke on a playground injury. How I feel when I click run as administrator. I need to rebuild my reputation at school entirely. Welcome, visitor. We have a church and a school and no tentacles whatsoever, Humansville. My dad in high school versus me in high school. This school has no chill. Non-graduating seniors. Today was ranch day at their high school. It's time for school. Get the hell up. I remember in middle school, my phone was dry. No girls would text me. They still don't text me and my phone is still dry. I just remember it happening in middle school too. School printer sign. Please only use colors when necessary. Me. When is school resuming, please? I'm tired of this. POV, you are in middle school in 2016 and believe you have discovered the peak of comedy. Gym teacher. Now, this game is called dodgeball, and if you play your cards right, the person you hate the most will be crying like a bitch within minutes. People who take pills without water. People who poop at school. When I'm peeing in the school bathroom and someone says, this is not the time or place to be peeing, bruh. Like, sorry, I peed in the vape room. There are 3 kinds of people in the world. My daughter made this at school, and it lives in my house now. Wow, they totally messed up this really nice house. Sometimes, though, look at this renovation, it sucks. Tweets are wrong or subjective, but this is just a travesty. They turned a lovely brick facade into a school white hallway. Chris Martin looks like a toddler at a preschool that costs $50K a year. If you're tired of all the first day of school posts, 8,376th day at work, me as a high school student in 2002. What's that? A sample of your crispened potato snacks? No need. I have already calculated its flavor in my head. Perhaps a little more sodium chloride next time. You're old school, if you know what this light means. When you're looking all fly for school, and she absent. Why did my daughter draw this at school? Go Biden is gay. The 4 horsemen of stupid stuff we did with pencils in school. Why didn't I think of this stuff in school? Goth girlfriend this, goth girlfriend that. Where were y'all when I was getting bullied in middle school? Also getting bullied? Ally. High school student sparks chaos by testing teachers' engagement rings to see if they're real. I knew school was a scam when I saw Mexicans failing Spanish class. If my math teacher looked like this, I would go to school every day. Getting to that point in the term, I don't know what's going on. If you're funny and attractive as an adult, it either means you were ugly in middle school, or you need therapy. Accepting a grueling quest, waking up to go to school. I'm in the school library. Can I just take books off the shelf? This is so old school, and I don't know what I'm allowed to do. My sister is a freshman in college, and apparently teens in 2015 don't know how libraries work. When you drive to work at 4 a.m. because you wanted to be funny in high school. I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting cooked. A new annotation. People worry that their children will be weird if they are homeschooled. Meanwhile, kids in public school identify as cats. Are popular kids really that mean, or did we all just see too many movies written by losers? Nearly all the popular kids in high school were very nice. That's why they got popular. And they said college would be harder than high school. Sit quietly at your desk for a few minutes. Get up and say that was easy and turn in your quiz. Do not say anything to Jerry and Robbie. How I be staring at the customer while neither of us acknowledge we went to high school together for 4 years. This school had a Dress as Students Day event for the teachers, and one teacher had this outfit on. He understood the assignment like no other teacher could ever. High school teachers versus college professors. The bell does not dismiss you. I do. I'm a head out. Freshman school supplies versus juniors and seniors. Where is the lie? Which kid were you in school? We didn't have desks like this in UK. I just carried a computer, a pen, and some paper. Me in the mirror at 11:17 p.m. on a school night. This was in one of the girls' bathrooms at school. Missing dog. I miss my dog. He's not lost or anything. He's just at home. And I'm here at school. Enjoy this picture of him though. High school student arrested after trying to Randy Orton RKO on principal. New Orleans, where the speed limit increases during school zone hours. My younger sister, who we left in a boarding school. Explain yourself. I snuck out of school. Don't tell them. To the US? So my high high school got rid of all the mirrors in the bathrooms. Just assume you look like crap. Nobody. That one girl that wanted more attention at school. Darth Vader ruled an entire galaxy. Voldemort couldn't even take over a high school. Sabrina the Teenage Witch hired this balding man to play a high school student. The greatest thing to see as a kid. Until your school doesn't make the cut. Unpopular opinion, school edition. If my grades are good, then attendance shouldn't be an issue. Somewhere, tucked in the most hidden part of your high school, lies the coldest water fountain ever made. Take your tractor to school is Friday, May 4th. Quick reminder that I'm in med school and law school, also an astronaut school, or basketball. No one, Bobby. School, we spent $75,000 to modernize our classrooms with smartboards and HD TVs. The school bathrooms. Oh my mum got my dog a school picture because he's a therapy dog at her school. People, how's engineering school going? Me. So they really clothe school tomorrow. They shirt it down. That sucks. I was unaware of this. Before I had cable, this was the after-school lineup. John Wick is the dark timeline where Ted went to military school. In high school, I saw a man die in a horrific car crash on my way to buy Minecraft 360 edition. This is what an armed teacher looked like back in the day in school. Why was a girl at school walking around with a Starbucks cup? And I'm not saying that because, girls and their Starbucks, but like, there are no Starbucks in this country. The closest one is 220 miles away. So did she come back from the one? School really had us eating this at 11 a.m. High school band practices in that thing. How dudes in middle school treated Axe body spray. Wearing this to school tomorrow. When your parents ask what your current school situation is, the string wants to collapse, but the constant stress won't allow that. I can't do online school anymore. In what month did Lisa hit the maximum taxable social security income? June. Correct answer. June. You already know you're going to school when these pull up. Nursing school doesn't prepare you for the number of elderly patients who will casually confess to decade-old murders. Nursing school did also not prepare me for the amount of old women confessing to loveless/miserable marriages. The virus screens for kids when they go back to school. Some kids are going to be thinking they're visiting dad. Me. I wonder why girls didn't like me in high school. Also me in 10th grade. Also me in year 10. Take what you need station for my high school students. I like these new teachers. They are more considerate. What school teaches you? Job requirements. Early 2000s movies were like, this is a high school sophomore, and I believed them. School bathrooms are terrifying. It's like I'm playing FNAF while trying to take a shit. Dumbledore. Hogwarts is the safest place. Harry Potter at the end of every school year. Middle schoolers today have jewels, but in middle school, I had these. I did not have these. If you grew up going to school like this, say yep, no. I feel like Sam Hyde was that kid that made everyone laugh at school, but because everything at home was miserable. I feel like you'll appreciate this photo I took several years ago when I was in school of a raven getting spooked by something in the bushes. Quoth the raven. Ah! So we were supposed to have an all-school assembly about global stuff, but it was a trap and the teacher flash mobbed us, and the head of math department just ziplined over the crowd and threw candy. What type of school do you even go to? Obviously a public. My school is having a meme day, so I decided to be iconic. Kim, you're doing amazing, sweetie. An open-air school in 1957. God, I wish this is what would happen. High school in movies versus in real life. Thinking about school lunch. Who doesn't love back-to-school shopping? Will I choose ballpoint or felt tip? Spiral or composition? And okay, definitely headphones. Only thing I miss about school was when asking to go to the bathroom and then doing a few laps of the school and bumping into people while doing the laps who were also doing laps. Teacher, can anyone answer the question? Me, accidentally making eye contact. I remember a school debate when I supported the motion, education is better than money. Money, please forgive me. I was a child. Texas mum, 33, who pretended to be her 13-year-old daughter at middle school, where she recorded her day, is found guilty of criminal trespass and sentenced to 6 months of probation. The coat that launched 1 million schoolyard fights. Yeah, we never had that in UK. At least at my school, I don't know. High school really had me sweating nuts in gym, and then sent me straight to history or math. The hell. Between you and your partner, who will solve this for your kids at home? Taking them to school before assembly so they can copy their classmates. Bro wore the ethereal shield to school. You are what you eat, said the blue fairy unwisely. Pinocchio turned sly eyes upon the elementary school. OP, do you take constructive criticism? Sure. Name one way I could have improved my 2-sentence horror fanfic. My school held a Hunger Games today, and so the victor got to ride around with the principal, and I just couldn't. Your school held a Hunger Games. Haven't you heard of public school? My school got the backrooms. School wasn't invented until 1873. People in 1872. You, sick and home from school. The TV. The Incredible Hulk versus Credible Hulk. I always cite my sources. Which high school counselor made this? Netflix. Here's another school drama with ordinary teenagers just like you. Going to elementary versus going to middle school. How my school teaches versus my natural hand placement when your human forgets to pick you up after school. School cancelled for the virus. Let's go. High school physics teachers. There is no Easter Bunny. There is no Tooth Fairy. And there is no air resistance. Public school. Math equals racism. Homeschool. Dad, this is way too easy. You're making these TikTok videos but couldn't make a PowerPoint in school. Tall kids going to the school urinals be like, crouch. Atheists when they haven't evolved muscle despite being beat up every day in school. Okay, but how do I pay my taxes? School. Lava is called magma when underground. We overwork kids. We give them lots of homework. We give kids depression. Why do they hate school? Somebody's dad in the back of every homeschool Zoom call. Yeah, I mean, I agree. All the guys in my class are so dumb. How the smart girl herself is. We are running out of gravity. Detective, where were you between 2 and 4? Me, confidently. Preschool. 7-year-old me when I put my backpack on one shoulder. Welcome to Coolsville. Teachers, after putting both the bully and the victim in detention. Why do I fix everything I touch? How fast time goes by during the school year. How fast time goes during summer break. Growing up studying at the kitchen table be like. Parents at a school play when their kid goes up on stage. Me, unlimited free time. 14 overdue assignments. Seniors, receiving their diplomas this year. Kids today, find out school is cancelled via text. Me, had to wake up at 5 a.m. and watch the bottom of the TV screen, like the NFL draft. Girl 10, who refused to answer root test question, praised for brilliant reply. This school pizza party is going to be lit. High school in anime. Every cute girl in the school is in love with me. I'm the greatest martial artist, cook, and musician among all Japanese high schoolers. High school in real life. We have 5 tests tomorrow. Fuck. Skipped school once. Got to the crib and mum was home. She brought me back. So we know what you were doing there, but what was she doing there if she was supposed to be gone? Skipping too? I accidentally pissed my pants in middle school and successfully covered it up by accidentally spilling chocolate milk all over my crotch. Sometimes the wolf has to bite off its own paw to survive. Why did anyone let me, male 18, leave the house looking like this? Disney themed day at my high school. I want to erase this from history, but also dying laughing, so please join me in cringing. I hate this meme because MJ didn't even want to go to an Ivy League school. She was literally on Broadway. She wanted to be an actress. Me, ripping my preschool daughter's trash drawing off the fridge handle so I can get a can of beer. A high school student made a video that shows the past, present, and future of our world in just 2 minutes. Great. My professor really brought a coffin to class to say, your test scores had me dead. Pacer test, banned for child cruelty. I want compensation for my suffering. This teacher helped save her student's life by donating her kidney. My teacher marks me absent when I'm in class. What is an extreme sport? Doing your homework while the teacher is collecting it. Student punished after putting high school up for sale on Craigslist. This is what we've come to. I feel bad for the class of 2020. This looks like a funeral. 2 types of people going back to school. It's my first day of kindergarten. I hate school, and I refused to hold a sign unless it said I hated school. Teacher really used to hype us up at the end of the year party just to serve us this. I took a picture of my son getting an award with his teacher, a school in Russian prison. It is nice that they let her keep teaching. Man, I hate this school. I'm just trying to take a poop. I just saw this in my morning class. What the hell is going on? Literally me in class. This dude skipped class to stream, and someone told the teacher, so they started watching him. There is a student in my class who likes to draw a cat of the day. One day, that student wasn't in class, so our teacher drew on himself. There was this girl in my class with the letters on her head, and I said, excuse me, and she said, I have a boyfriend. Okay, letters heard. Today in a Zoom class, my professor casually mentioned her cat, and one brave student spoke up. Teacher missed her students, so she knit 23 adorable dolls to represent each of them. Student's response to new teacher's proposition. Okay, I don't care. If the girl with 4 highlighters and 78 colored pens says she is screwed for a test, then you probably are too. A 9-year-old kid apparently got caught selling hot Cheetos for 25 cents in bags at school. A couple of weeks ago, we had an icebreaker during my graduation seminar, and the question was, what is your irrational fear? My answer was, hammerhead sharks. It's actually illegal for teachers to keep the class after the bell as a punishment. It violates the laws on collective punishment. Life hack, just accuse your teacher teacher of a war crime. They copyright claimed the exam review of my online class. I literally cannot study for my test. The girl in my 3rd grade class that told everyone she was part horse and ate grass at recess is engaged, and I have been ghosted 4 times in the last month. Much to think about. When you shake laminated paper and it does the thing. Exactly. Today, the student debt crisis has reached that number. Damn, only 3 students owe money. I used to be in class, like, got 40 minutes left, 2 20-minute halves, just gotta get through 10 minutes 4 times. Imagine waking up for an 8 a.m. class and this is what you walk in and see. He got up extra early to make a holiday class a little fun. Be nice and respectful for what he's doing. When an 8-year-old boy saw that his autistic classmate was having a hard time adjusting to the first day of school, he held his hand and let him know that everything was going to be okay. How do I explain to my professor that the reason I did not show up to class is because in my dream I woke up, checked my email and saw that class was cancelled, and I believed it. One of my fondest memories of community college was when I answered a question in class with my laptop open and the professor was like, "You didn't know that, you looked it up," but the guy sitting behind me yelled, "No she didn't, she's looking at anime." Today, in math class, I had the urge to fart. I had the bright idea that if I dropped my textbook and farted at the same time, nobody would hear it. I dropped my textbook, everyone looked at me, then I farted, loudly. Ping, 398 ms. I'm not a former gifted student, I am still gifted. Put me in a 4th grade class, I will annihilate all of them like I did the first time. Can Kahoot fuck off with the bright red screen after I get a question wrong? I don't need everyone behind me knowing I'm a fucking idiot. I've asked this girl in my math class for a piece of gum every day for the whole semester. Today was our last day and I asked her for gum and she gave me the whole pack as a parting gift. If this ain't the smoothest thing I've ever seen. One time in 3rd grade I was playing tag and I tripped and fell down a hill and I just kind of laid there in my own blood for a few minutes face down, and these boys came up to me and were like, "Is it dead? Should we hide it?" A crow tried to go into our classroom and he had a pin. He's more prepared than half of the kids in my school. School doesn't even test your intelligence, it tests your memory. It tests my patience. It tests my ability to hold my pee. Schools are closed for quarantine in Japan, so Japanese students are holding a graduation ceremony in Minecraft. This kid in my class made a death joke, and when a bunch of people said, "That's not something to joke about," he said, "No, it's okay, I have depression, it's like the N-word." Gave my students a pop quiz today and learned something new. If you make all the answers to the questions C, you will see 35 of the most hilariously panicked and confused faces in the world. I learned today that a group of students used a Google document to take lecture notes. They all took notes simultaneously in a collective file. Schoolboy's drawing helped police track down man trying to get into school. Mr. and Mrs. Walker, there will be no school this week, so Colin can stay home and play video games. From Mrs. Teague, I am the teacher. You know the exam is going to be lit. When you see this on the cover sheet, crying is permitted as long as you do it quietly. Sharpening a pencil at the bin was the childhood equivalent of taking a cigarette break. Kids working together to create eternal recess, community. I just got my acceptance letter from medical school. So happy right now. A new shape called the scutoid had been discovered in our souls. I'm so glad I'm done with high school. Imagine having to find the area and volume of a scutoid. So I matched my professor on Tinder. Hey, I'm in your Wednesday lecture lol. I'm well aware of who you are. I'll do the deed down for an A in class. Excuse me. So chapter 2 is due next class. A school full of vampires. Saudi Arabia accidentally prints textbook showing Yoda sitting next to the king. I was the type of student who hated this side but loved this. Future schools are going to need a whole class made in order to understand this. School's going to be crazy. Mr. White, late lunch. High school quarterback keeps his promise from 7 years ago. Takes his friend with Down syndrome to prom. There should be a camera in every classroom and any parent should be able to access the footage whenever they want to find out exactly what teachers are saying to their kids. Teen who identifies as a cat allowed by school to act feline, not speak. Favorite high school memory, leaving. School is starting again soon, so I'm asking all drivers to please watch for us, student pedestrians, and hit us at full speed. Thanks. Rides into battle on a gym class butt scooter. Runs over fingers. Mission, goddammit. You know how people say that the older you get, the smarter you are. You're now older than when you first technically started reading this, so I made you smarter. This new generation will never experience the, okay, show me where you're stuck on. Me, pooping in a school bathroom. Me calling my mum, telling her I got suspended for throwing a jar of peanut butter at the nut-free table and yelling, bombs away. 2 9-year-old kids cut their teacher's Wi-Fi so he doesn't send any more homework. I'm dying. My sister has detention on Teams. They have to sit in silence with the camera on. I paused Kung Fu Panda at the perfect moment when your math teacher is moving on to the next chapter, but you still don't know anything. French schools are asking parents to stop throwing their children over the fence when they're late. The person who invented homework was an Italian teacher named that name. He invented homework in the 1900s as a punishment for his students. Fuck you. This is the best pen ever. Let's argue. Drawings like these in textbooks are one of the things I miss the most from school. You son of a B, I told you I would do it. You're next. Class photo. My eyes were closed. Photographer physically cut and pasted someone else's eyes on top of mine. 10 out of 10. Actually, the class system in America is never been to Disney. Went to Disney once or twice. Goes to Disney annually. When a Georgia college student could not find a babysitter, a professor volunteered to hold the baby while teaching a 3-hour anatomy class. A guy in class got called on to answer a question, and after a short pause, he says, "Hang on, I'm not dumb, I'm just panicking." And I felt that. The guy next to me felt that. Your mum felt that. The whole world felt that. There's a girl in my class who's been carrying this 6x6 Rubik's Cube since the first day of school, and today she finally finished it, so we all started applauding her, and she was so overwhelmed that she ended up crying. Is this appropriate for a teacher? What is she supposed to do? Leave her body back at home? Today, a kid in my drama class got detention, but he pulled out a Monopoly get out of jail free card out his wallet, and my teacher let him out of it. How do you get detention in drama? Long story short, he kicked the ceiling by accident. How do you kick a ceiling by accident? A group of girls said a male classmate assaulted them. He was escorted from school in shackles, charged with crimes, spent an entire summer indoors with an ankle monitor. Finally, the girls admitted they made it up, they didn't like him. This girl next to me in my class offered me a sip of her drink because I mentioned that I was thirsty. I was not expecting to take a sip of vodka cranberry at 9 a.m. My 6-year-old brother's teacher asked the class what's their favorite seasoning, and he said garlic powder. The highlight of my day was my teacher bringing his cat to school, and every time he asked class a question, his cat would meow, and he would accept it as an answer. Someone in my Norwegian class didn't know the word for cowboys, so they called them American horse pirates, and I've been laughing about it for about an hour. I keep forgetting this dude wasn't from the 1700s. My new favorite thing is asking my class to share a boring fact about themselves. Today, I shared that I don't like mayo on sandwiches. One student puts both socks on before putting on shoes. Another eats a pound of turkey each day. I am marrying the boy from my 9th grade PE class in 6 weeks. I fell in love with his smile. Still in love with it 8 years later. My math binders are always red every year. I feel like math is just a red subject. Math is a blue subject, and I'm prepared to fight you over this. The only thing I learned properly at school. School has taught me how to hold my poop in for 8 hours. When you don't show up for Spanish class and your teacher is extra as hell. In elementary school, when we would read out loud to the class from the textbook, I would literally count the children in front of me and figure out what section I was reading so I could practice it before I got my turn to speak, and I think that's where my anxiety started. There is a really good looking guy in my class, and his Instagram was on private, so I sent him a following request during class, and he looked over at me, then denied the request. This man waits for his wife to get out of class every day. This freshman was like, "I can't find my class," and we looked at his schedule and he's at the wrong school. I'm so dead. This isn't funny, but we brought 60 caterpillars for my classroom, and instead of growing it into butterflies, they ended up eating each other due to some kind of virus they had. And now I'm stuck reading books on the nature of death to help my students cope with the loss. I watched this girl drop her iced tea on my way to class, and the only thing she said was, "I am so sick of being alive." Somebody just rickrolled our class in a Zoom meeting. Why is this mannequin looking like he's waiting for the class to shut up? Today, one of my teachers called on a really quiet girl, and the class was silent, and then you heard her whisper, "I have the bravery of a chicken nugget, please don't," and I couldn't stop laughing. Student life is all about books, coffee, and casual cozy clothes. I must have lived the wrong student life. So they really clothe school tomorrow. They shirt it down. That sucks. I was unaware of this. Sick of this school, bro. There is always that one weird kid in the class. POV, you make the substitute teacher have a mental breakdown. I'd be saying, "Oh yeah, I get it," just so the teacher can leave me alone. As a teacher, you're sometimes privileged to witness life moments. I saw a girl approach a boy and ask if he wanted her phone number. He paused, then pulled out his phone. Utter joy on the girl's face. I then confiscated the phone as it's against the rules to have it out in the corridor. Me, after seeing a fight in my school. Is this what private schools look like? Middle schools in 2001 be like, "Here's your bread full of cheese, and now go try to stay awake in health class." Schools after killing all of their students' interests, then blaming it on video game. Remove the word interest, then it will have a whole different meaning. School lunch lady fired for feeding student unable to pay for $8 lunch. What? High school is in real life versus in Netflix shows versus in anime. 13-year-old boy kicked out of history class after claiming the F in John F. Kennedy stands for Fortnite. In high school, our gym teacher asked us who we thought the smartest teacher in school was. We guessed the AP chemistry teacher, the pre-calculator teacher, the AP teacher, etc. The AP physics teacher. He goes, "Nope, it's me, because I get paid the same as those guys and I played dodgeball all day." The girl sitting next to me lady gave herself an insulin shot in class yesterday, and the girl next to her said, "Can you not do that right now?" She replied with, "No, Deborah, I would like to live. What is the most disgusting secret you're hiding right now?" In biology class, we were dissecting a pig's eyeball, and my hand slipped and the eyeball fell on the floor, and me being extremely lazy, I kicked it under a cabinet and it laid there for 2 years until someone finally found it. You did not get bullied for liking anime. You got bullied because you did stuff like growl at people in class and ninja run to the lunchroom. Please be honest with yourself. I will never forget when my boyfriend of a year broke up with me out of nowhere the day before a big statistics exam, but I vowed to never let a man affect my academic performance, so I walked in that class with tears streaming down my face and still got the highest grade in my class. Who remembers the temporary buildings at school that were up for decades? A student once asked Bruce Lee, "You teach me fighting, but you talk about peace. How do you do together?" Bruce Lee told him, "Spread peace, but whenever you see a boy making a TikTok on the road, beat the shit out of him. I go to a Catholic school. Got this out of an ATM today. I sucked a pee-pee for this. Stay in school. The struggle is real." This kid has his priorities straight. To get away with not having done work, I'm using a loading icon GIF to trick the teacher into thinking it just won't load. Third graders, when the class is reading a book and their name is one of the main character's name. Teacher sees student sharing a note. Why didn't you read that out loud? Dear teachers, this is an intervention. Your methods of discipline via public humiliation are inspired carbon copies of Hollywood tropes. We wrote this letter as a class. This kid is 11 in my organic chemistry class. He said if we have any questions, just to email him. Eric Gomez. Education is important, but big biceps are importanter. Around 60 people agreed to stab Julius Caesar. At the end of it, he only had 23 stab wounds. Even back then, not all the members for a group project would do their part. Remember those kids in grade school who used their folders to hide their test answers? Well, they're vegans now. Blocking someone isn't enough. I want them to get lice. I once intentionally gave a girl lice because she kept throwing her long hair all over my desk in class while I was trying to work on assignments. I had asked her to stop doing it multiple times and she scoffed and kept doing it, so I picked one off of my own head and threw it onto her hair. A couple days later, she came crying to school with a bob. I do not regret it. What the fuck? POV, it's 8:30 in the morning. You barely got any sleep, and the popular girl starts laughing loud for attention. POV, you miss a day of school and all of the girls start saying they support you. One of the greatest joys you can have in life is knowing that orphaned baby orangutans go to jungle school every day, where they learn how to be orangutans. In a wheelbarrow school bus. My school sent out a warning about cougar sightings, and some kid replied this to the entire school. That's just my mom. In school, I'm so dumb. In college, I'm a genius. When you get cornered by the school bully, so you send one last text to your Minecraft girlfriend, but his phone vibrates. School district pulls To Kill a Mockingbird from reading list. Makes people uncomfortable, officials say. That's the point of the fucking book. I showed my students that I can say ABCs backwards, and a student shouted, "She is a witch." And then I unzipped my jacket and revealed my Hocus Pocus shirt. They all screamed. The universe has never been aligned like this for me. I remember when I was late to my primary school, and I would be like, my parents made me late, and my teacher would say something dumb, like, "It's your own responsibility to make sure you're here on time." Bro, I'm 7 years old. The fuck do you want me to do? Drive the car. My professor handed back our 3-page film essays. To my surprise, I got a C. After class, I asked her why. "You were supposed to write it about the movie, The Emperor of Time. You wrote it on the Emperor New Grove, but it was kinda good, so I didn't fail you." So that's how I'm doing. Back in university, a girl mocked my presentation, so one time I searched for her group and asked for the topic they were presenting on. I spent 4 days researching on it and asked her so many questions like it was common knowledge that she cried. Stay blessed, precious one. Teachers carefully making their assignments as boring as possible. I don't always have time to study, but when I do, I still don't. Me, presenting the project I finished the same day at 2 a.m. The school system, the bully, his victims, the kid who fought back, the cycle of English teachers. New teacher arrives, teaches for a few months, gets pregnant, goes on maternity leave, never comes back. Yeah, this is oddly accurate. So in my roommate's lab, one of her classmates has a service dog, and apparently service dogs also have to wear lab gear. Just look how cute this is. School counselors be like, "This stays between us," then calls the cops. Middle schoolers when they get into an argument, saying every curse word in the English language. 10-year-old me, after accidentally calling the teacher, "Mum," how I sleep knowing I was the reason why we did not win a pizza party property in the 5th grade. Teacher, do not damage any parts on the PC or PCs. They are school property. Kids in the back. Will a PC survive 650-foot drop? Me in 3rd grade, watching the janitor toss all of the balls off the school roof. POV, you get approached by the weeaboo kid. This pencil sharpener sticker in my English teacher's classroom is grammatically incorrect. Please insert the pencil horizontally to avoid off-center, and do not push too hard to avoid not working. The teacher's internet the while they explain the 36-step project that's worth 75% of our grade. Being disrespectful to teachers isn't funny or cool. They're doing their job and you're just being an asshole. My school teacher, no one said this job is supposed to be easy. The Indian guy on YouTube, no one said this is supposed to be that hard either. This reminds me of when a teacher told a migrant child who spoke little English to do 100 lines as punishment for some petty offense. The girl delivered a sheet of art paper with 100 straight lines ruled on it. OMG, y'all remember this. All schools were not created equally, because what is that? Damn, I remember teachers really used to put my desk outside the classroom. My ass used to be in the hallway, like, all classes are online now. Lunch ladies. Girls during art class. OMG, my drawing is so horrible. Teacher will give me a D. The teacher will surely use my drawing as an example of how everyone should do it. Engineers graduated from an online class be like, I just watched a girl in class look confused during the lecture, then literally open up her laptop and change her major. Took my 6-year-old to a classmate's birthday party today. He was the only other kid there. His parents thanked me for bringing him and said he was the only one their son wanted to invite because my son's the only one in school who's nice to him. Teach your kids not to be dicks. This is how my professor cancelled class this morning. Sorry again. If it's any consolation, I am, as the youth say, straight up not having a good time right now. Bill Gates wrote a class scheduling program for his school. He tweaked the program's code so that he was placed in classes with mostly female students. I spilled my whole coffee in class today, and the guy in front of me asked what kind of drink was it, and I told him. I looked up from my laptop at one point, and he wasn't sitting in front of me. Then, 10 minutes later, he comes back into class with my exact order. I'm crying. My mum has trained her unruly 5th grade class to respond, hear ye he, with all hail the queen, followed by immediate silence. I'm both appalled and impressed. This class is so boring, I want to leave. I'm sorry, but these 2 images make me laugh so much. Like, I just imagine, Mum, what are we having for dinner? Nothing, honey. There's an ongoing famine. Do you ever just have that one class, that one freaking class, that just depresses you when you think about it because, oh god, you hate it so much. Maths, when I used to go to school. The psychology building at my university. You survived another year. Have a bouncy ball. You deserve it. Graduating. Have 5. You may not be one of those fancy pants engineers with specialized jobs and skills and stuff, but hey, you've got like 5 bouncy balls. Student invents bacteria that eats plastic and turns it into water. One time in high school, my French teacher told the class that his grandmother died, and a kid in class said, Je regrette. And the French teacher burst out laughing and was like, you're going to want to say désolé in this context because je regrette means like, my bad. Had a crush on Ben after seeing him in my class. Strategically attended a party I knew he would be at. I approached him and said, hey, you're in my psychology class. And his drunk self responded with, yeah, you're hot as hell. And now we are in love. Middle school teacher left in tears after principal confiscates pizzas she brought for students to reward them for their hard work. My school disabled the no internet dinosaur game. School bans bags so boy turns up carrying books in a microwave. High school teachers you could be real with. History teachers, English teachers, high school teachers that were cops, math teachers, gym teachers. Class be hitting different when you actually know what is going on. Arnold and his classmate, both 18 years old. Our high school junior stayed on Zoom after my finals today. He said, just wanted to do a vibe check on his teachers. Like, you're all checking in on us, but who's checking in on you? Well, you studied the Blade. I studied the Blade too. We were classmates. Hey bro, is there any Blade homework due tomorrow? A girl in my geography class had to bring her newborn to class today. The baby started crying in the middle of our quiz. When she took him out to hold him, my professor insisted that he wouldn't mind feeding the baby and rocking his car seat until she was done. This is my so awesome, sweet professor on his knees. Saw that my students submitted their assignment late at 2:48 a.m. so I didn't bother opening it and just gave them a 20 out of 20. I did this one time last semester and my professor emailed me the next morning and literally said something like, don't take my class this seriously. Always prioritize your rest and well-being should be your priority, not my class. High school kids during math class. In the hanging mass weighs 20 kg. What is the force on support AB? What is a kg? Romans 2,200 years ago. Time to build a 62-mile long adequate 2000. What the fuck is trigonometry? So my calculus professor found this posted on the door to his office today by a student. I hate math test because all through the chapter it's like really easy and then you think you've got it and then the test is like, if I throw a triangle out of the car and the car is going 20 kilometers and the wind resistance existence is a thing that exists. How many cupcakes can Pedro buy with one human soul? Class concern. Hello Valerie. During our online lecture on Zoom today, I had noticed that you were drinking a Bud Light. I myself love Bud Light. I do not mind that you were having a drink. I am just concerned for the fact that it was 8 a.m. on a Monday morning. Just wanted to make sure everything is okay. Feel free to message me if anything is concerning you, as I am always here for my students. Dr. Pelez, dying Japanese teacher's last homework assignment. Please be happy. No one answered. Hey, quick question. What is 19 times 34? Please answer quick. The teacher coming to collect the paper. So, my school installed a cry closet in the library. The first day of school versus the second day of school. Imagine going to school for 12 years just to graduate in a Walmart. Break it. Why? You just have to. The staircase at my school was so long, the administration needed to add motivational signs so people could reach the top. Someone stole a urinal. Why is this bunny wearing a backpack? Where is he going to go? What does he have in this backpack? It's his first day of school. Wish him luck. Opens up Word document. Time to bully myself. So I couldn't make my math homework because my duck fell asleep over my calculator. $1,000 TV stand. Why did you get a detention, son? Threw a lamp at another student and told him to. Lighten the fuck up. Me, in 3rd grade, telling my friend how to come to my house. When you say a swear word and turn around and there's a teacher behind you. When the test question says, describe what's happening in this picture, but the picture be like, I've been playing school, it's kind of a bad game, but you can have some fun moments. Fun fact, you can change the difficulty by annoying a lot of the quiet kids. Schools are removing analog clocks because kids can't read them. Dictionary to remove words because kids can't spell them. Girl named IKEA had to change her name to stop being picked on at school. Stop being picked on at school is arguably a worse name. So I was wondering what my teacher's water bottle said, and students' tears. 7 things you absolutely need to pick for college. 6. Massive limestone cube. You never know. You never know. Country kids walk around school wearing all camo, like a deer is going to jump out of a locker and attack them. First day to school versus my first day to school as a teacher. You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. When I broke up with my high school boyfriend, my 10-year-old brother walked in on me crying and asked what was wrong. I told him, and he proceeded to log on to Minecraft, join my ex's party, and then set their town on fire. This is what happens when you let the students submit new names for their school. He thought school was for a day only. Hashtag he big mad. Remember, if you ever feel bad, this guy played grass in his school play. I forgot to change the title. Lab reportacy. Use your own words. Don't just copy from the textbook. She was born in 1978. 1978 is the year in which she was born. The evolution of my cell phones during 4 years of high school. I dropped all 3 of these in the toilet. The iPhone died, the Razr survived, and the Nokia broke the toilet. When you spend the first 2 weeks doing the first half of your assignment, and then you finish the other half in 3 hours, right before it's due. University is giving us free iPads. My university gave me free depression. When your 9 weeks project is due tomorrow and you haven't even started. Yeah, I've got time. My high school had a $10 fine for swearing on campus. One time a kid got caught saying shit during gym. When the principal told him he had to pay up, he handed him a 20 and said, keep the fucking change. Drop out of school. Living paycheck to paycheck. Get a master's degree. Living paycheck to paycheck. How good are you at mathematics? Me. When the teacher doesn't want to hurt your feelings. So much knowledge in one room. So much debt. Students in 350 BCE. I cannot wait to become an expert in everything and discover stuff. Students today just came up with a title for my essay. That's enough writing for today. Cool. My outfit for school. The strangest thing happened to me a few minutes ago. 20 boys were all cramped up in the smallest restroom in our school, and I just saw them all walk out like soldiers. I asked my friend what the hell happened, and all he said was, the council. Schools, after you ask them where all the money from the fundraiser to improve the school went, the only time people at school want to be your friend. I hate my school. They're making us do a TikTok as a required grade. This is Ralph. He is a dog that lives near my school and waits for me every day after school to say hi to him before I have to leave. 5th grade. Oh boy, I can't wait for high school. It's going to be so fun and awesome. High school. Shout out to my nephew. His school had a millionaire bash for the kids that read over 1 million words in the school year. Celebrities for the day. Why do I keep dreaming of falling behind in my schoolwork? Please, I graduated last year. Leave me alone. That one guy from my school was sent home for wearing a skirt, and then everyone wore skirts as a protest the following day. One time, I was on a date in high school, and I got pulled over, and the police officer let me off with a warning, but fined my date $100 because she was only 4'8" and by law, she was supposed to be in a booster seat. And honestly, I think about this a lot. If I were a 300-year-old immortal vampire, I would simply not enroll in a local high school. 6th grade boys shut down school and send students to hospital by spraying too much Axe deodorant. Oh damn, oh damn, oh damn. Random memory of a gorgeous girl on the dance team in high school. On more than one occasion, getting super close to get an eyelash off my cheek. Men don't miss hints. They just pop up and stab us in the brain a decade later. What all schools need. No, math in the 90s. Elementary school in a nutshell. There is a blind deer in our neighborhood, and this boy, 10 years old, walks her from one grass patch to another every day before school to make sure she finds food. If brains are biological computers, why don't we lag? You can't tell me you've never walked into a room and forgotten why you're there, or lost a train of thought for a few seconds. Once, when I was driving home from school, I had a brief moment of panic because I thought I had forgotten my car at school. So my chemistry teacher set the table on fire again today. Look at his smug face. Look how happy he is. Chemists are never happy unless something is burning. Who else did this when submitting classwork in school? Shout out to my school teacher who said I'm going to end up working at Burger King. Tomorrow's my first day. I thought I embarrassed my daughter, but she wants me to dress up like a superhero all the time when I pick her up. Indian school had a wrong Heisenberg picture as scientist, and why Google search is to blame. High schooler confirms he's made high school in one picture. Teacher's voice. I'll wait. That's the face. That's the face exactly. Oh, look. This milk expires on the 22nd, just like my summer and happiness. I found this homework assignment I did in 1st grade. When I grow up, I want to be carried away by owls. Shout out to the people who have already asked the exact questions from my homework on Reddit. This is what college feels like. Who would win? The brain of the most advanced species on the planet. Some paper. Babe, it's 8 a.m. Time for 6 hours of monotonous lectures containing information which will rarely ever help you in real life. Yes, baby. Can you guys please recommend books that made you cry? New General Mathematics. When the teacher says your project can be about whatever you want, how much sawdust can you put in a Rice Krispie treat before people notice? The most realistic part of Harry Potter is how he goes to a school where he learns skills he can't use in the real world. A lot of rich people and successful people didn't finish school either. Prepare for high school, then prepare for college, then prepare for your career, then prepare for your retirement, and then you're dead. Then prepare for skeleton war. Dentist has multiple things in your mouth. So, how's school? A woman on the train kept staring at me, and about after 25 minutes, she was like, I'm sorry, but you look like my high school boyfriend. And without missing a beat, I was like, Amanda? And she was like, my name's Rachel. But imagine if I guessed her name right. Thinking about girls who were absolutely demons in high school getting a degree in nursing makes me so nervous. I'm sorry, but can I have a different nurse? This woman called me an ugly bitch in 10th grade. If you're my only friend in a class and you choose someone else when the teacher says to pick partners, that's it. Game over, pal. You're dead to me. Me, listening to a song and imagining myself performing that song in front of the whole school and shocking everyone. I've never done this. Is this mental illness? Oh, I thought I was homeless. These Balenciaga jeans. Look what happens when people decide to drop out of college. Sir, this is Balenciaga. Maybe it's not a house rule, but when I was 6, my mom told me that if I behaved, she would let me skip school on Saturdays and Sundays. One day, my teacher said, see you Monday, and I knew. Whenever I'm sad, I just think about this one time, sophomore year, when a girl gave my teacher this cake to commemorate the 3-month anniversary of us turning in our essays that still haven't been graded. I don't know what stresses me out more, the fact that 26% somehow got 13, or the fact that the correct answer isn't even an option. When I was in 9th grade, I got caught selling illegal stuff. My mom was devastated, so she transferred me to a rich private school, thinking it was going to help the situation. But in reality, she gave me a promotion. Never mind guys, it's not due today. You can bring it tomorrow. Oh, Kevin was just a bit off. My prediction for the year 2020 is that everyone will live peacefully, and they will cure every disease there is. Sorry guys. My physics teacher likes the meme I made, and put it on the board while we did a test. In high school, my teacher told me I was a huge waste of potential, and all I have to say is, honestly, you got to applaud that level of foresight. I have amounted to absolutely nothing. How close are you to quitting school? Today during 4th period, the teacher told us to be extra quiet because he was doing some important work online, and he did not know he had his computer screen hooked up to the television in front of the class, and all he was doing was watching the Titanic on Netflix. Nobody, lunch lady, grab a fruit, baby. They cared more about us than anybody in the entire building. We were taking our math test, and I turned around, and can we just talk about not only whatever is all over that girl's face, but the guy charging his phone in the back, and the kid on the right who looks like he's in in immense pain. This picture is like the perfect description of school, but posting on the floor is fine. Please no posting on this wall. Let's all keep City Tech clean. Dude, how did the 12-year-old me go to school every day, play video games for 10 hours after school, sleep for 3 hours, repeat for years, while eating absolutely horrible food, and still not manage to get even so much as a headache? Now, I think about the wrong thing, and I get a cold. Remembering that time in grad school, when my advisor, a great ornithologist, got a random call. Drunk guy, barred noises in the background. Is this the bird professor? My advisor, yes. Do hummingbirds have feet? Yes. Wild cheering. What's wrong with the youth of today? This beauty just sitting in the park this morning, while dozens of school kids just walk past. It's at least a sixer. Your girl just left for law school. Your girl just completed her last class of law school. Your girl just passed the bar exam. Your girl is officially a lawyer. My mum is visiting for the weekend and sleeping in. I'm wondering if I should shake her awake and tell her she's going to be late for school. Then she can have 10 more minutes of sleep, but come back again in 4 minutes. Minecraft Earth, official reveal trailer. Everybody gangster till someone brings an infinity bow to school. What's the most rebellious thing you did as a kid? As a kid, I straight up lied to my dad's face about having a school project on the solar system. I even made up a deadline so we would have plenty of time, but I just wanted to make something with them. Not sure why I lied. 1. I cut the wires of regular Apple earbuds and wore them to school. 2. The school confiscated them. 3. When I went to get them back, I took somebody else's real AirPods. Yeah, karma's real. My 6-year-old burst into tears and said he was too sick to go to school when we got in the car this morning. It was clear that he was not sick, but he's never done that before, so welcome to your first mental health day, dude. We are going to Target and watching movies and eating muffins. Ah yes, schoolwork. Shoves pencil through eye. Higher education. Crying is allowed, but please do so quietly. It can be disruptive. Do not wipe tears on exam paper. Fetal position is okay. At bedtime, my 8-year-old told me his teacher said, think of your mind like a pond full of fish and each fish is a feeling. Try to be the pond, not the fish. And all I can say is, primary school has significantly improved. A kid from my school just got expelled today for pretending to be Russian for 8 months. He pretended he could not read, write, or talk English. He did good in all of his classes because he had all the teachers and principals convinced he just moved from Russia, so they don't make him do any work. Some graduate as scholars, other drop out as legends. I spent 113,800 hours of my life for a paper and a handshake. If Keanu Reeves is the internet's boyfriend, who is the internet's girlfriend? She goes to another school. When you need to cough in an exam, but you have already coughed like twice, so you just sit there, suffocating. Abby Lee Miller and eats macaroni and cheese during her last moments before heading to jail. Me going back to school after break. Me when the teacher is explaining something and she keeps looking at me. Me coming to class unprepared on the first day of school. People want to be selfish with their pens. Weather during school versus weather during holidays. Good afternoon, my name is Russell and I am a wilderness explorer in Tribe 54. School computers trying to run more than 2 tabs. When you see someone with a bad grade and their bad grade is your easy class. High school teachers you could be real with. History teachers, English. High school teachers that were cobs. Math, gym. What the fuck, Siri? Wait, what are you doing? When you are supposed to be doing work on the school computer, but you're playing games and the teacher sneaks up behind you and says, go ahead and log off for me. Class will finish at 3, the clock. What substitute teachers see when they walk into a class? When the teacher tells you you're going to be watching a movie in class, so you get excited, but then makes you take notes while watching it. Your methods are brutal at worst, unethical at best. School work before having a test. Schoolwork test before exams. Exams in school before holiday. When you sneeze in class and 3+ people say bless you. Me and my friend after our PowerPoint presentation. The teacher and the rest of the class. When both of the smartest kids in class get a different answer. Schools. Teens need to get more sleep. Classes start at 7:30. Why do they hate school? When your essay is too short. Oh my, I used to do this so much. The teacher heading to the conference room with the kids who said they can help lift the chairs. Hey perfectionists, here is an 89-degree angle. Have a great night. Y'all making these TikTok videos but couldn't make a PowerPoint in school. All my teachers in high school. College will be infinitely harder than high school. They will show you no mercy. My professor. Dr. Wilbert forgot to write the quiz. Would you like 10 free points? Yes. Can I get a hell yeah? I don't know. Can you? May I get a hell yeah? You should have gotten a hell yeah during the break before class started. But I didn't need a hell yeah during break. When you don't know the answer to the question but can't leave it blank either. Things that are scary. Getting up in class. Coughing in class. Reading out loud in class. Answering a question. Turning a test.
Class. The teacher trying to play a YouTube video starter pack. How do I full screen it? Wait, this isn't the video. When a kid is skipping school, so as a punishment, the school expels them. The hypothalamus plays a major role in the regulation of basic biological drives related to survival, including the so-called 4 Fs: fighting, fleeing, feeding, and mating. This line in my textbook makes it almost worth the $160 I spent on it. I went to my first physics lecture, and the professor literally told us, I wrote the textbook for this course, but I'm going to pirate it to you guys, because I hate my publishers. If you haven't cried in a math class, you're not allowed to follow me. Mathematical illiterates on this channel only. You don't need to be mathematically illiterate to cry in math class. You just need to keep taking higher and higher math until you cry. No child left behind is a colossal failure. Some children need to be left behind until they can grasp the material in order to advance. This is how you get high school seniors that can't read beyond a 2nd grade level. There was the ill-conceived, too cool to do drugs pencil, which after being sharpened down, promoted a rather different message. The manufacturers halted production of the pencil after a 10-year-old primary school student pointed out the pencil soon read, do drugs. My school has 2nd braille. Why? Blind person. So what room is it? Sighted person. Backwards L dots, too high up dot, blah blah blah. M223. Yeah, you couldn't just read the sign. My teacher, my late homework me. This kid has his priorities straight. How are finals going? What is a microphone? True or false? School nurses, when you get frostbite on your toes and they give you ice. Health. When I die, I want the people I did in a group project with to lower me into the ground so they can let me down one last time. Don't be friends with seniors because they will graduate and leave you and it'll suck. Don't be friends with underclassmen because you will have to leave them and it will suck. Don't make friends. Glad we sorted that out, guys. My favorite part of math is learning a new thing and being like, oh, so that's what that button's for on the calculator. Never forget, on November in 1949, a bunch of Belgian students took over a fortress and attacked the police with fruit because the city had raised the price of beer. As a student, the most comforting words you will ever hear are, I haven't started either. In primary school, we had a creative writing assignment where we had to write about a character in a new, strange situation, and I wrote about a squid that was somehow teleported from the ocean to the forest floor and slowly choked to death for 2 pages, and I will never quite forget my teacher's face because it turns out she wanted, this new school is scary, I hope I make friends, and not a graphic description of a squid dying. I came here to do my job and clock out. Be careful who you call ugly in middle school. Lol, I just got called and told 7 years after I graduated from high school that one of my final grades was miscalculated, that I'm missing a credit, and they're taking away my diploma. Bro, I already have my bachelor's degree from college, what the hell? Someone in my German class had a birthday today, so his friend suggested that we sing. So everyone started singing the song in German, but my teacher stopped us and said that a lot of Germans just sing it in English, so he made us sing the song in English, but with a German accent. I'm crying because that's actually just what we do. Our son Clinton was bullied and set on fire. In case you guys wanted to know what modern high school dances are like, at mine, Despacito came on and everyone T-posed around this one kid as he Fortnite danced like his life depended on it. I played Juliet in high school, and the morning after opening night, I came late to 2nd period, and my teacher was like, ooh, are you two a big star now to show up on time for American history? And I got to be like, my grandma died this morning. Don't forget to turn your camera off, kids. Hi David, wanted to reach out to you following this morning's class. I really appreciated your contributions to our discussion, and I felt that I should follow up with you. I noticed that during class, you appeared to consume an entire chocolate cake. Normally, I would never be the one to police my students' eating habits, but I reviewed the class recording, and you finished the whole thing in 43 seconds. I'm pretty sure I watched you unhinge your jaw like some kind of snake. Is everything going okay at home? Is your jaw okay? Please let me know if I can be of any support. There's a Chinese exchange student in my composition class, and we were being presented something about how you can use brackets to signify translation, and there was Chinese text on the screen, and the professor said to him, what does that say? He deadpanned, I can't speak Chinese, and everyone sat there in dumbfounded silence, and then the presenter clicked to show that the text literally said, I can't speak Chinese, with the most shit-eating grin on his face. Chaotic neutral. Real talk, if there's a fire at my school, I am not walking in an orderly fashion and then getting my name marked off. I'm running for my life, and I'm taking my damn bag with me. One time, there was an unscheduled fire alarm, and I just happened to have my bag on my shoulder when it went off, so my teacher made me go back into what, to his knowledge, was a burning building so I could put my bag back. I accidentally submitted a paper worth 35% of my grade with this intro. Buckle your seatbelts, motherfucker, because in 8 short pages, I'm going to to teach you something that I only learned 2 hours ago. So sit down, shut up, and enjoy the experience of my 4 a.m. caffeine-induced self-hatred fueled writing extravaganza. During middle school, my stepdad used to leave me a note on my door each day to inspire me. Well, I keep those notes, and it's been 6 years since then. Today, I gave him those notes back. It's actually really disturbing that kids falling asleep in school is viewed as them being lazy, and not as the school overworking them to the point that they literally can't stay awake. I fell asleep in chemistry class once, and my teacher got me a pillow and a blanket and made the class work in silence so I could sleep. We ask 18-year-olds to make huge decisions about their career and financial future, when a month ago they had to ask to go to the bar. When your teacher gets off track, tells you stories about his life, and wastes half of the time of class. The air in the morning of field trips used to hit different, all foggy and the grass be a little wet. This dude is crying because the teacher yelled at him. This is high school, bruh. POV, you were acting up with the substitute teacher, and walk into this the next day. I would do anything to have been in high school in 2016. You what? The kids yearn for damn Daniel. Schools be like, mental health is important, then give you 15 assignments due at 11:59 p.m. I organize my homework in order of urgency by how scary I find the teachers. So one of the high school buses flipped over, and this was the picture they used in the newspaper. Apparently, this is the route our parents took to go to school. Is y'all's high school crush still fine? Oh no, she went from elegant to elephant. I'm going to a new school soon, and I'm pretty strong, so I'm thinking about being a bully. Any beginner tips? This is such a funny ask. I'm not even going to touch it. As a boy in school, I had an intuitive blood instinct that the girls who took notes with 35 different colored pens were going to ruin the world as adults. What happened at school today? The quiet kid told me to stay at home. Eh? My dad bought 15 mangoes and didn't tell my mom, so she bought 10 mangoes. And now we are the people from the math problems. I went to middle school during the breath mint gold rush. 2013 is almost over, but my school papers still look like this. Defeated by finals week. This kid on the baseball field at 2:30 a.m. making crop circles. College is a messed up place. Finals fried this kid's brain so bad, he's trying to communicate with another planet to get him out of here before next year's finals. Being afraid to check your bank account is the adult version of being afraid to check your grades. College is when you're afraid of both. Can someone honestly tell me what is stopping us from filling all this ocean with land and expanding the size of America? Find a school bus in the morning and just get on it. My little nephew brought home his school pictures. His mum is going to mess him up. I found out I can stick pencils to school walls by rubbing it up and down. The friction does the rest. Guys in high school were sneaking into different lunch periods, like it was the club. I took ASL in high school, and one time there were two deaf students arguing with each other, and it got to the point where one of them just closed their eyes, and the other one was visibly red because she couldn't sign to her. Core memory, really. I made a thirst trap, and not only did it get 0 likes, it got 0 shares, which means no one from high school even made fun of it. So in one fateful moment, I have found out I'm both ugly and irrelevant. The most powerful punctuation mark in existence, the demicolon. We're preparing you for the real world. I don't mean to alarm you, but the real world has calculators. As a college student, my favorite words are cancelled and free. Free pizza is cancelled. Why would you even say something like that? The guy in High School Musical who said, I played the cello, was arrested for robbing a pizza place at gunpoint. Should have stuck to the status quo. I paid $20,000 in tuition. I'll make drugs in this thing if I want to. My college doesn't want us to make popcorn in their awful microwave. A freshman year roommate sat me down day one and was like, heads up, I'll be bringing a lot of girls and maybe even some guys to the dorm this year, so if that scares you, grow up, cause this ain't high school. Anyway, he brought one girl back the whole year and now they're married. Don't lie, were you popular in high school? I was that weird middle class of high school students who wasn't technically popular but was cool with the popular kids and the lames. My favorite college experience is when I had a 7 a.m. class and the kid next to me literally poured a Monster Energy drink into his coffee and said, I'm going to die, and drank the whole thing. I remember whenever I was late to primary school and I would be like, my parents made me late, and my teacher would say some dumb stuff like, it's your own responsibility to make sure you're here on time. Bro, I'm 7 years old. What do you want me to do? Drive the car? Student slams university after being told she can't take her baby to lectures. Yesterday, I asked my 12-year-old son what other kids at school think about him having 2 dads. His response, they don't care, but they don't like how I'm immune to your mama jokes. Your mama is so ugly. Your dad had to get a husband. Okay, apparently not everyone got these, letters from the school nurse when they lost a tooth in elementary school, but I vividly remember getting to wear one of these and everyone asking to see the tooth I lost throughout the day, and I felt like a baddie. Me dying because my doctor used ChatGPT and Quizlet to pass medical school. April Fool's Day. Oh yeah. Ready for April Fool's Day. Going to take it to school and eat it. I ate 3/4 of the jar and made 3 teachers gag and 1 friend get angry at me. Mom, you have 14 apples. Then you eat 2. How many do you have left? 6. You have 14 Me. Today was meme day at my old school for homecoming week. I appreciate this science teacher even more now. Rhinos are out of shape unicorns. Changed my mind. I was quite flexible when I was younger. The kids at school used to call me Spider-Man because my uncle was murdered. Children are the best fundraisers because they don't understand economics. Principal, the student who raises $500 for the school will get a free hat. 12-year-old me. That is such a great deal. Your GPA didn't decide your intelligence level in middle school. This did. I can't afford to pay for my kids' school lunch. We barely can make ends meet. Starter pack. US officials are considering a ban on chocolate milk in elementary and middle school cafeterias due to its high sugar content. The West has fallen. Thinking about in 7th grade when I got escorted to the police station after school because they found out I was prank calling local businesses as Ricky Pee-Pee, and when I walked in, the officer who was waiting there with my mum said to me, "If it isn't Ricky Pee-Pee, kids could end up in foster care over lunch dead. Pennsylvania school district warns parents. They are threatening to take children away from their families because their parents can't afford to pay off a school lunch debt. This country really hates poor people. Why did humans have to invent things like jobs, schools, and college? We could have all just vibed, but I guess not. Trade offer. I receive 7 hours of useless information and terror. You receive depression. Me in kindergarten. I got yelled at by adults 5 times today. I'm still having fun. Me in school. The teacher told me to be quiet. I'm depressed and the world is better without me. No eating in my class. The back row. Public high school things. Naruto kids. Kids punching windows. Kahoot. Miss. Come on. Leaks from everywhere. Screams from every direction. School playground equipment in the year 1900. Apparently in 1900s, only the strong survived recess. Teachers act like this is how the world will be like. Speed limit. 2x equals. You ever take a nap so good you thought you missed the school bus, but it's Sunday and you're 52. Naked man driving stolen school bus with dead deer inside leads police on chase. American teens finding out that Egypt has streets and people and isn't just like a desert. Be like, the American school system failed us. No, Michaelin, you're just stupid. Only do what your heart tells you to do. Drop out of school and start a homestead. I only know how to grow tomatoes. 4-year-old. That was enough school. That was your first day. Yep, you have school again tomorrow, kiddo. Nah, I think I'm good. I never brought a pencil to school, ever. Scrounged for one every single day. Hunter-gatherer vibe. Teacher was done with this behavior. Refused to give me a pencil on test day. Went to the bathroom. Sad. I was about to fail. Found a grimy pencil under a bush. I think Nature Spirit pen. Left it for me. Abandoned 123-year-old school. For sale. Totally not haunted. We promise. Like, we pinky swear. No wailing child ghosts. No endless walls of text about the coming of the end times appearing on chalkboards when you turn your back. No creepy singing. Totally cool. I just realized the school doors are the colors of Darwin, Gumball, and whatever their sister's name is when I'm in school versus when I immediately leave. Tell me why this happened to me with my elementary and high schools. Back in middle school, my friends and I used a very simple, coded language for writing secret messages. I saw some posts about needing to hide one's beliefs from partners or bosses or parents, so I wanted to share it with you. These would also be great to incorporate into sigils, since they are simple lines and dots. High school teacher. College professors wouldn't be as laid back as I am. College professor. I'm cancelling class just because, so take the quiz I posted online. Do you pinky swear that you watched the CC video? Yes. I found this history textbook from 1873 at a flea market today, and it's super old. On page 23, there is a thing that says, look on page 150 in pencil in the top margin. So I go to page 150, and the guy had written, you are a fool for looking. Got me, bro. trolled me 141 years into the future. Good for him. People who shoved their school papers in their backpack with no binder or folder. Where are you now? We are here. Yes, superheroes are real. I mean, look at my parents. Score low marks and you will see their superpowers as well. I did this social studies fair, but was so pressed for time. This is what I ended up turning in. Grade pending. Is that we were so overwhelmed with other schoolwork that we had no time to assemble this board. At 95, how old were you when you realized recess in elementary school was for the teachers' mandatory breaks and not for the students? I remember back in high school when I would walk up the stairs behind a girl. Why would you tweet this? And why would you... what? Bruh. High school teacher. I'm going to make this class difficult to prepare you for college. College professor. Plays slideshow full of memes. I came to school today snuggling my... Is this real? Do you think this is real? I hope it isn't, but it's TikTok, so... I never realized how bad I am at flirting until after the fact. Mario Kart is actually life. I haven't played a video game since middle school. SMH, you're missing out. Sorry, boo. You can reteach me. There's like 4 buttons, but okay. I am so sorry. I do not know if I have stated this. I forget it happened. My high school boyfriend and I named both of our cars together. We do not talk anymore, and have not in a decade plus. Anyway, he named his children the names we gave our cars. What is music taste, if not high school trauma persevering? Someone once told me that what you listen to at 14 is what you will listen to for the rest of your life, and not a day goes by where I don't prove them right. What's the dumbest thing you got in trouble for at school? I'm not going to call it dumb, because now that I'm older, I know that was some weird stuff. But in middle school, my Spanish teacher was trying to reach for something, and her shirt went up a little bit, showing her stomach. So I tickled her and said, tickle, tickle. Oh, she went off. When I was in high school, we had 2 art classes that shared a classroom. I didn't like one of the teachers, so I didn't do the work. I failed that class, then proceeded to walk across the classroom and excel in the other art class. I had a 6th grade student who was on free, reduced lunch. Every Friday, for the entire school year, I taped 2 quarters under his desk so he could buy ice cream with the rest of his classmates on Friday. Y'all miss this pizza, huh, baby? I would gladly go back to school for some of that superior pizza, man. Salute to the school lunch ladies. The well done corners were my favorites. My 3rd grade teacher said I would never amount to anything, but I got 1750 Vaporeon controlling the gym at my old school that he teaches at, so I guess I proved him right. Heartwarming. This 2-year-old's family couldn't afford his 20,000k electric wheelchair, and their insurance didn't cover it, so our high school robotics team burned down to the insurer's headquarters. Old school versus new school. Pikachu, what's your secret? For sale, all in one. Tornado, earthquake, bomb shelter. How teachers want you to leave class during a fire. Last people in dodgeball, having a standoff. Doing my lunch duty, and 2 year 7s have just rolled out a picnic blanket. Sat down, got 2 actual mugs, filled them with tea from a flask, and got a pack of biscuits out. Incredible. I once caught a year 7 having a cigarette and a can of beer at lunchtime. Our catchment areas may differ slightly when you were naturally smart, but topics are harder now, so you actually have to study to pass. Me in middle school, wearing a hoodie in 95-degree weather. Me going to school, knowing I forgot to bring the map. I once forgot to take my bag to school. I once forgot to change my shoes. I came into school wearing slippers. This is at my school bathroom, Miku Corner. My dad at 17. I walked 2 miles and cycled 3 miles to reach school. Me at 17. Too lazy to switch on my laptop and click on the link to join class. When I finally read the homework due for tomorrow, and I suddenly realized why the teacher gave us 2 whole weeks to do it. So my daughter got caught skipping school yesterday. So this morning, I walked her all the way to the front door of the school to make sure she did not miss another day. Schools, students who memorize everything. Critical thinkers and problem solvers. Creatives. 12-year-old boy has DJ equipment confiscated by teachers after organizing rave in school toilets. Me in class taking a picture of the notes on the board that I know I will never look at again. Remember back in middle school when people would say, "Oh, so you called me a bitch?" Well, bitch is a dog. Dogs bark. Bark is on a tree. A tree is nature, and nature is beautiful. So thanks for the compliment, because that's what some of you guys' arguments sounds like. The fact middle school is censored is adding an indescribable aura to this post. Me, during summer break. Me, realizing it's the last day of vacation. So I get 10 days more vacation and more bills. I'm dying right now. My professor is sharing his screen, and this is one of his tabs. My grade is 97% for doing the flashcards. So, even if I get 0 on the test, I have above a 95%. Math teachers, chaotic chaotic evil, English teachers, neutral lawful good, history teachers, either lawful evil or true neutral, science teachers, chaotic good. Oh gosh, I'm going to be late to Tumblr school. Oh my, I can't know my feels. What is that boat in the bottom right corner even doing there? It's my ship. Today, these two kids in my math class were hitting each other with pencils, and my teacher glared at them and said, "Could you try and be a little more mature?" One of them screamed, "Taxes!" and punched the other kid in the face. The American Revolution rips my hair out. I have so much respect for people who draw slice of life anime and have to draw desks. I hate it so much. Rest in peace, you are very strong. All of mangakas just use CSP and 3D assets. Did anyone else have this period in high school when everyone seemed to own a ukulele and everyone brought them to school and played them at the most inappropriate and annoying times? Me watching the entire WhatsApp group chat for my university course fall into silence and become a ghost town at the very instant I asked a vital question in my most dire hour. The once bustling haven of lively conversation grinding to a halt. Not a single trace of human life to be seen. What I learned from school: I'm a piece of shit. Everyone else is a piece of shit. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. I hate game night with engineers. Don't get me started on poker night with math students. Monopoly with business majors is the worst. Scrabble with English majors is a nightmare. No matter who you're with, Cards Against Humanity is always great. Who remembers having all the people on her? Back in middle school, I used to shoot my shot, like, "You got kick? Professor, your essay must be 3,000 to 6,000 words." Me, 3001. "We can't see the slides. This isn't surreal. This is high school and college." 8-year-old. "Tomorrow is the first day of school, isn't it?" "Yeah, how did you know?" "You won't stop smiling." Is there anything on earth more anxiety-inducing than being given unclear instructions and then put under time pressure? Did you mean college? Things public school kids take way too seriously. Jeopardy, review games, kickball, Spirit Week. This post is so American, I don't even know what half of these things are. Kahoot. I love and respect Mr. Rogers, but his high school yearbook photos look like an artist tried to reimagine a ventriloquist dummy in human form. Please elaborate. In grade 8, I did a PowerPoint presentation on whooping cough, and my opening slide was a photo of Whoopi Goldberg coughing, and I was the only person who laughed at it, and I couldn't start the presentation for like 5 minutes because I was laughing too hard at my own joke. I absolutely loved growing up in the thousands without an iPhone. Nowadays kids won't know the feeling of going home after school, watching Suit Life of Zack and Cody with a packet of crisps, and then playing Club Penguin on the computer before tea. Phew, I hate being an adult, but one thing I'll never miss is how my stomach used to turn when back to school ads used to surface towards the end of summer. Graffitied my bud's smartboard in his classroom. He won't even know till he turns it on tomorrow in front of all of his new students. "I funniers have infiltrated the public school system. This is not a drill. I repeat, Kirby has his backpack on and he is going to school." I think if you showed Minecraft or Fortnite to a little medieval peasant, he would probably start writing parodies of church hymns. It's human nature. When I was a little Catholic schoolboy with no internet access, I would imagine warrior cats singing to church hymns. So I think you're right. This has rendered me speechless. When my school discovered I was undocumented, my scholarship and in-state tuition were taken away. I told my dad that I was going to drop out and work instead. My dad told me he would cut his arm off before I dropped out. We made it work. Today, I graduated, and here's why. College professor just said, "You're probably too young to even remember this," and brought up something that happened in 2011. Better than my professor that said we'd probably recognize this from Saturday morning cartoons. New Immortal versus Old Immortal. This is Bew. He's taking a power snoozle before continuing his med school studies. We believe in you. What's the dumbest thing you got in trouble at school for? My friends were chatting with each other in class, which was kind of against the rules, so our teacher gave them extra assignments as a punishment. But since I was seated next to them, somehow I had to do the assignments too, even though I did not chat with them at all. My favorite Facebook genre is parents posting unhinged nanny requirements. School is starting again, and that means we once again need a nanny. Please read all of these requirements. Am I really about to read this? You need to have a master's degree or higher so that our 5 or 7-year-old will be intellectually challenged. No, your bachelor's of English doesn't mean you're smart. Sorry. You must be between 24 and 28 to keep up with the activity level of our kiddos. And please plan to have your own housing. Don't assume you will be staying with us. Yes, we have an extra room, but the privilege is earned, not assumed. We need you from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. and 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. every weekday. The pay will be $18 daily. That's fucked up. Plan to bring snacks or other food for kiddos, as our cabinets will be locked during the day while we work. You will also need to bring educational materials, such as workbooks, as we do not keep anything like this at home. Thanks. Shut the fuck up. According to a scientist at Harvard, hair is the thinnest thing in the world. They obviously haven't seen my patients. Scientists created a psychopath AI by feeding it violent content from Reddit. Hey, quick question. What the hell? Study. Thinking too much can cause you to die sooner. I am immortal. An extremely rare picture of Albert Einstein teaching a class. I keep forgetting that this dude wasn't from the 1700s. 14-year-old student builds an atomic bomb as a science project. Study. Crying can help you lose weight, and the best time to cry is from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Scientists just erase certain memories from a snail's brain, and they think it will work with humans too. Scientists, do you remember anything? Snail, my god, what have we done? 97% of scientists, climate change is real, and we're causing it. Boomers, I don't know, sounds fake. Some random Facebook post. Blue M&Ms is linked to increased cancer risk. Boomers. Scientists recently discovered that rats love driving tiny cars, even when they don't get treats. When put in mazes adapted to tiny cars, the rats just enjoy cruising around. Scientists grow bigger monkey brains using human genes, replicating evolution. There is an entire genre of films based on how this is a bad idea. Scientists develop a device to transform stress into electricity. Damn, I'm gonna be able to power the whole world. When I donate my body to science, they will be like, wow, I do not want this. If the multiverse theory is true, then there is a universe where it isn't. Went to Home Depot, got sand, brought sand to a beach where it belongs. This isn't funny. The sand was raised in a different environment. It isn't able to survive in the wilderness. Victorian female medical students. Looks like one of them there had a really tough semester. These scientists made 2,879 tiny clay caterpillars and hid them all over the world. Aren't you guys supposed to be curing cancer right now? Throwback to the time when stress used to be force per unit area, not your whole life. Your bones secrete a hormone that can make you panic. Scientists find. So, it was my own spooky, scary skeleton that sent shivers down my spine. World's top scientists: Albert Einstein, Stephen Hawking, Stephen Hawking, Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Scientist in remote Antarctic outpost stabs colleague who told him endings of books he was reading. A new shape called the scutoid has been discovered in our cells. It sucks. Awful shape. Bring back triangle. Scientist who trained rats to play Doom 2 says he may start a Twitch channel. Science says your dog isn't really that special. Science can catch these hands. Since people only kill the spiders they see, humans are acting as an agent of natural selection, causing spiders to be selected for reclusion and intelligence. We are making spiders smarter. Yo, what the hell? I just saw a stat that only 30 to 50% of people have internal dialogue. There's really 50% plus of the population out here walking around with nothing going on in their head. Everything is starting to make much more sense. Scientists find a rare cave salamander that hasn't moved for 2,569 days. Scientists have developed the first telescope contact lens. This lens is capable of zooming your vision to 3 times. Scientists have discovered that on occasions an octopus will punch a fish for no reason other than spite. Lil Nas X, Lil Nas Y. You're going to need meth later in life. I did it. I built a Pringles Ringle. No glue, just physics. Someone has to explain the science behind these bottles, making any water you put in it the most hydrating and refreshing drink one could have. It took 10,000 bees 25 years to make the honey you just wasted. It takes 550 bees to make about a pound of honey in 2 to 3 weeks. Where did you get those numbers from? I made them up. When Bill Nye comes to your party, drinks all of your alcohol, and smashes your girl and says it's an experiment, has science gone too far? New study reveals a whole bunch of nerd dumb shit. Did you know 17 muscles are activated when you are crying? Fitness is my passion. Dogs lick us because we have bones inside them, and they want them, scientists say. Even though the most famous scientists have rough weeks, Charles Darwin, for example. But I am very poor today, and very stupid, and hate everybody and everything. Scientists in Japan build a robot to hold hands with lonely people. Scientists, there are no straight lines or sharp corners in nature. Pyrite. This meme is gold. No, it's pyrite. Gigantic undersea bug in aquarium poops for the first time in 2 years. It's official. Not enough doing it can kill you. Having too little doing it increases the risk of a heart attack by more than 2.5 times. Scientists have warned. Rats can be taught to play hide and seek, and they squeal with joy when they win. Snails decide using 2 brain cells. Snails use 2 brain cells to make complex decisions. A team of scientists finds. Scientists finds them. So, in an incredibly disheartening study, scientists find 33 creatures living inside a cave that was sealed off for 5 million years. Seal that cave back up and walk away. This is not the year. Schrodinger's urinals. There are 2 or 3 urinals. We won't know how many until someone starts using one. The scientific method. First step, fuck around. mind. Second step, find out. Chemistry teachers in the 1950s. Hey kids, play with this raw mercury while I teach you how to make a bomb with household chemicals. Modern chemistry teachers, please put on your safety goggles before you handle the room temperature. What if you could just record silence and then play it on loudspeakers on full blast to make the whole room quiet? When life gives you bears, trick them into doing market research. Oil floats on water, so if you lubricate your soles with it, you can walk on water. Genetics for dummies. Elon Musk presents infinite energy source. Human body. I can grow a fully formed human baby in like 9 months. I'm a talking brain, functioning respiratory system, eyeballs and everything. Me. Cool. How long will it take for my twisted ankle to be better? Human body. 7 years and it will never be the same. My dad and I are a great reminder that genetics aren't an exact science. Geneticists here. There are a number of factors that go into determining a person's height. Genetics, of course, plays a huge role, but other things such as a diet, environment, and having a cheating bitch of a mother play into the equation as well. Why do potatoes have more chromosomes than us? What do they need them for? That is none of your business. My ancestors didn't wear sunscreen. They had an ozone layer. Trade offer. I receive way too much calcium, not enough water. You receive cool rock collection. Don't break people's hearts. They only have one. Yeah, break their bones. They have 206. If humans were born with 12 fingers, would math be based on base 12? And would that change much about what we have learned from science? Yes, I actually lost a girlfriend over this argument. Loneliest frog in the world who spent a decade in isolation finds a mate. A Japanese spacecraft has landed on an asteroid and fired bullets into it. Dinosaurs, consider yourselves avenged. Why don't they make bulletproof vests out of diamond if it's the hardest metal? Because it's too heavy. 1 gram of diamond weighs something like 15 grams. Trodna! People in 1925. Aircraft are extremely unreliable and flying is dangerous. Also people in 1925. Fossils of a turtle the size of a car have been unearthed. Carlos for scale. Carlos is a standard unit of measurement. Animals running in circles is so cool. Deers. And these guys look like they are about to drop an album so hot you have to measure it in Kelvin. Sir Isaac Newton died a virgin. That is what you get for inventing calculus. Research suggests that laziness is just a natural part of being a teenager and does not reflect bad behavior. Scientists in Mexico turned tequila into diamonds by heating a cheap shot to 800 degrees Celsius. Cat control mice with chemicals in their urine. Me. I believe science. Science. Please just don't use your phone right before bed and right after waking up. It is literally destroying your circadian rhythm. No, this looks like one of them random pictures you see in chapter 4 of your science book. Some men just want to watch the world learn. The fact that their faces kinda align scares me. Art, science, and kindness. The holy trinity of mankind. I'm not sure what I expected a pufferfish skeleton to look like, but I didn't think it was this. When I was a medical student, another med student asked, why are we admitting this guy to a psychiatric for hearing voices? Everyone hears voices all of the time. I think about this a lot. My parents at age 26. Let's get married. Yes, Einstein at age 26. I'm going to develop the theory of relativity and become well known in the scientific community. Who the hell is naming these viruses? Who? Eating too much cake is the sin of gluttony. However, eating too much pie is okay because the sin of pie is always 0. In 6th grade, I forgot the science fair was the next day. 10 p.m. in a panic, I find a loaf of molded bread my pops forgot to throw out. Made a study on mold, moisture, and air. I got 2nd place in the school, 5th place in the city. The bread was so moldy, I was praised for conducting weeks of research. You are my hero. I am literally the most insufferable person alive. Australians have accidentally been eating a fish unknown to science. Thank goodness. Usually, it's the other way around. Fish unknown to science is eating Australians. Somebody tried to tell me there were 50 states in America. No, nuh-uh, cause the scientists found out Pluto does not exist. We have got 49, dumbass. Did you know, according to scientists, an X-ray of your face is really a picture of what you will look like in 150 years. Scientists create sound so loud it instantly boils water and bursts your heart and lungs. World's smallest snowman, new record. They have been working on a mosquito killer laser that can kill up to 100 mosquitoes a second. The system can even distinguish gender and species by calculating the speed at which their wings beat. My room next summer. Capture an amazing video of a deep sea fish with feet. The scientist who first discovered the platypus thought it was fake. Although indigenous, Aboriginal people always knew of the creature. European scientists assumed an egg-laying, duck-billed, beaver-tailed, otter-footed, venomous mammal had to be an elaborate hoax. Tiny baby on the bus. Me. When babies stare at you, they're not doing it because they've got nothing better to do. It turns out they do it because you've caught their eye. According to a study, babies stare at people they consider to be beautiful. The baby gaze. Biologists discover new method to find soulmates. New study proves enhanced doing it chemistry for couples where the female's neck size fits precisely the male's grip exercise. Florida man kidnaps scientist to make his dog immortal. I am no scientist, but theoretically, if you open your slidable doors open while running, you will gain speed faster because your car is essentially doing the Naruto run. Preventing the next pandemic will cost that amount a year, or 3% of the military budget. Scientists have found a rare half-male, half-female songbird. It is being described as a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Scientists have accidentally grew a chicken the face of a dinosaur. You don't accidentally just grow a dinosaur chicken. Y'all are always lying, trying to be an adult and read a scientific paper, and your wife does this. Harry Potter and the influence of climate legacies on the distribution of dry land. Scientists revive 48,500-year-old virus. Why? So, 2 of my classmates just asked our professor if his shirt is missing a second part. There are 2 types of people in this world. 1, those who can extrapolate from incomplete data. I love science. The first gulp from the glass of natural sciences will turn you into an atheist, but at the bottom of the glass, God is waiting for you. Werner Heisenberg, father of quantum physics. Gorillas make up little food songs while they eat, and not like they sing the same song over and over. It seems like they are composing their little food songs. Bro, do you know Newton's second law? I'm a science student, bro, not a law student. In perspective, a neutron star with a mass of 500,000 Earth has a diameter no larger than that of New York. In zero gravity, a candle's flame is round and blue. Science fact, it is impossible for a man to strap down any kind of load in a trailer without saying that is not going anywhere as he tightens the rope. Scientists have created a new kind of black hole that has a gravitational field so intense that no treats or dropped food scraps can escape. Yo, why did scientists roast the fuck out of this fish? The bony-eared ass fish, the smallest brain to body weight ratio, all known vertebrates. How long does someone have to be dead before it's considered archaeology instead of grave robbing? As an archaeologist, I find this a very awkward question. Answer the question, grave robber. Perfect couple. One person has cold hands, the other has warm hands. Together, they maintain the ideal temperature for hand holding. Relationship goals, thermodynamic equilibrium. The human brain has an estimated storage capacity of 256 billion gigabytes, the equivalent of 1.2 billion average PC hard drives. A graduate student has created the first man-made biological leaf that absorbs water and carbon dioxide to produce oxygen, just like a plant. If you don't think this is cool, you are very wrong. This is what an eclipse on Earth looks like from space. Freaking news. Polluted oceans cause squid to grow lungs and develop the ability to fly. A blue whale can produce sounds up to 188 decibels, making it the second loudest animal on Earth, right behind my mother. A random fish 375 million years ago. I said we walk today. Me. After I'm not reading this. Fuck maths. When the book 100 Authors Against Einstein was published to disprove general relativity, Einstein replied, why 100? If I were wrong, 1 would have been enough. The domestication of dogs. Wolf. I'm going to eat your babies. Human. What if, instead of that, blankets and peanut butter? I'm listening. Some squids are very brave during their checkups and others pretend to be rock. My name is Squid. I am not fish. I might be sick, so I'm in dish. The doctor touched. It give me shook. Do not trust, so now I'm a rock. A human has 46 chromosomes. A potato has 48. Therefore, you are 2 away from being a potato. Oh, you like bad boys. Well, sometimes I cite articles I've only skimmed. Take his hand in your hand. Ask him to explain Interstellar to you. Men love explaining Interstellar. A couple weeks ago, we had an icebreaker during my graduate seminar, and the question was, what is your irrational fear? My answer was hammerhead sharks, and today in class I walked in and saw this. My mom, study so you don't have to wash dishes for a living. Me, what if we used 100% of our brain? Every time I have not a science meme, I don't know why I downloaded this. Different elements produce different colored fireworks. Professor started talking about differential equations in Physics 2 lecture. When my mom walked in, I immediately switched to not safe for work because it was easier to explain. Why is Bling Bling Boy my science teacher's wallpaper? Okay, I've used this before. My 3-year-old said she wanted to be an astronaut, and I said she had to study hard, go to college, learn a lot of science, and take a physical fitness test, and she shrugged and said, that's just 4 things. A child's mind is always so positive. The earth is flat, so if we just flip it over, it will be like the cool side of a pillow, and boom, no more global warming. Science reveals the face of God, and it looks like Elon Musk. Invisibility is now real. Invisibility is now real. Invisibility was always real. You just couldn't see it. Woman starves to death in spiritual quest to live on sunlight alone. Do you seriously think modern medicine is a hoax? Germs aren't real because I cannot see them. OMG, I just found out that Albert Einstein was a real person. All this time, I thought he was a theoretical physicist. The first I'm pretty sure you guys can pretty much read this. I'm not reading it though. I'm fucking tired. Kids in 2098, reading the 2020s chapter. How the animal skeleton looks. How scientists would recreate the animal. The animal. Math. The right teacher can make this subject easier. I don't get why my brain struggles with learning neuro. Like bro, it is literally you. Dear student, the university would like you to explain how you managed to finish a 6-hour exam paper in 10 minutes. Regards, Professor Chun. 8-year-old me, imagining a catfish. Having one lazy day per week can help reduce stress, high blood pressure, and improve mental health. Now, imagine having 7 lazy days per week. How healthy is that? One average slab would generate a temperature increase of 0.0089 degrees Celsius. It would take 23,034 average slabs to cook the chicken in one slab. You would have to slap it with a velocity of 1,666 ms squared, or 3,725 miles per hour. My professor is 74, and he isn't confident using Zoom, so he's pre-recorded the rest of our classes. Today, I watched the first one. He has a Pinocchio doll in the front row, because he is not comfortable teaching to an empty room. I'm social distancing for this man, and this man only. Invented a pill that enables dogs to fully speak and understand English. It lasts for 10 minutes, and will only work one time. You give a pill to your 12-year-old border collie, who you have had since they were a puppy. Your dog immediately says, "Alright, listen very carefully. You have always been the good boy. Get down on yourself, but the good boy was you, all along." My wife and I never baby talk to our kids. We used full sentences and wide vocabulary. My daughter is 4 and can carry a conversation. Adults are shocked at her social aptitude. My second daughter isn't even 2, and she uses 4-syllable words, which is impressive because they are both cats. Artist, skips biology. Client, can you make my arm a skeleton? Say no more. Scientists in Turkmenistan thought they had found oil, so they dug up a hole, but it was natural gas. The hole collapsed into a crater and began releasing methane. Thinking it was a health risk, they threw a grenade into the crater, creating the gates of hell, which have been burning for 50 years. Electron microscopes freaking people out since 1931. I wonder if there's smaller creatures living on this creature. You deserve more likes for that thought. Definitely. Bacteria for sure. Maybe even fungi. Viruses too, if you count viruses among creatures, that is. In this universe, size doesn't matter. Size is just a matter of scale.